And what is up, everyone? It's the top of the hour here on 90.3 WMSC Upper Montclair, 4 p.m. Eastern Time. You know what that means. It's time to kick the tires and light the fires, Big Daddy. It's time for the Digital Dash. I am your host, Javier, and for the next 3 hours, I'm going to be talking to you about all the stories, the impressions, the unabashed opinions, and little idiosyncrasies out there in the world of pop culture goodness. And sometimes featuring only, and I mean only,
the most illustrious guest.
That timing was incredible. And I mean only the most illustrious guest. Today I'm going to be talking with my friends Trevor Gioia and Jack Barteck.
Hello.
Hello.
About just Thanksgiving in general and what we think of the holiday. Whether we don't like it or not, who knows? And now they're laughing at me. So we'll see what happens with that. You know, the holiday, how we're going to be spending it, some of our favorite memories, just a general Thanksgiving discussion. Because after all, it is Thanksgiving week, so we have to do that. And then, going to be talking NFL Week 12. I don't usually do game picks and all that, but you know what? It's Thanksgiving week. And you know what happens on Thanksgiving week? They have Thanksgiving Day football games. You know, so it fits. There you go. And then lastly, my friend John's going to call in around 6, something like that. You know? I'm going to be talking about Vince Staples' new album, FM. We're going to be deciding whether or not Kendrick Lamar is just the GOAT of rap. And then we're going to be talking about some of our NBA impressions. Just going through that a little bit. But before all of that, of course, we're going to take a quick break. And when we come back, we'll be going through all the news roundup stuff in the world of video games and movies and our reads of the week in the form of the opening dash. Stay tuned, guys. It's 90.3 WMSC Upper Montclair. You're listening to the Digital Dash. And we're back, everybody, here on 90.3 WMSC Upper Montclair. It's time for the opening dash. Jack was just watching the Lego Movie 2 trailer.
Yeah, I'm excited for that.
It's going to be great, man. It's going to be great. But yeah, let's start with some movie news. Not too much this week, actually, but let's get right into it. First of all, Game of Thrones' final season is set to release in April of 2019. It was confirmed earlier by HBO on Twitter. That's where I saw it anyway. Do any of you guys watch it? Do any of you guys? Do any of you guys
speak words?
Speak words. Do any of you guys watch Game of Thrones?
I'm currently on season 4, but
I haven't started.
But everything about the internet is it's like everything. I know everything that goes on in Game of Thrones because my brother watches.
Oh, I know. It's one of those things you feel like you've seen, even though if you haven't.
I've never seen Game of Thrones.
It's like Lord of the Rings, but with more intensity.
That's a soft way to put it.
I don't want to get into like FCC stuff.
Yeah, there's some rated R stuff in there too.
Because basically it's like Lord of the Rings but rated R.
Yeah,
like
essentially.
Hard R.
Yeah,
no jokes.
At points.
No jokes.
Points,
no
yeah.
jokes.
My big question that goes along with this. So as Game of Thrones hits its final season, does that mean that Game of Zones is going to be over too?
Dude, that's an excellent question.
Because
well, they're going to do a prequel series from what
they are going to do a prequel series. That's
and supposedly it could be about the Targaryens.
Mm-hmm.
That's
something that I heard too. I'm interested.
Yeah.
You've seen Game of Zones?
Not at all.
No.
Oh, no. Game of Zones I have, yes. I like the what is it, the Sloan Conference one from like a while ago where it was like and it's like forever the long two and it's like they're shooting it. They're really funny, those people over there, man. The Game of Zones is great.
I like
the LeBron the castle being destroyed and then he sends the bomb thing inside or whatever and he's just in the distance like smiling or
my
whatever.
two favorites, these are two that I can't pick between. LeBron when he has the Feast of the East. And it's every year they send like a new team that say they're going to dethrone him. And it's like he just gets more and more tired with it every year. Like that was so true, but so funny
great,
at the same time. The other one, there was one, I don't remember exactly what it was, but it was about the Pacers and how mediocre they were. And they were like, we'll get the 6th seed, maybe the 7th seed. And like everybody in the audience goes, woo.
That was great. But yeah, Game of Thrones set for release in April 2019. Next story, the Mandalorian series, which is a Star Wars series, I think we talked about this before, is set to star Pedro Pascal, who, for those unfamiliar, reading from Variety, Pedro Pascal has been tapped to star in the Star Wars TV series The Mandalorian, which is expected to premiere on the Disney streaming service Disney+. Pascal's name had previously been rumored for the role, but sources say he was one of many actors being considered. Now, insiders tell Variety that he has been offered the role and negotiations are underway. Basically, he's been in a bunch of other stuff before,
like
but
Narcos,
right.
Kingsman, The Golden Circle.
Exactly.
He was in Game of Thrones as well.
Yes. So that's why I put it second, because we were just talking about Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
So yeah, just one of the stars of the big show, and we'll see how that pans out. Not much else to say there. I'm kind of looking forward to it. Maybe, I don't know. I haven't decided yet.
It's complex.
Yeah, I hate Star Wars fans. That's another problem.
Very controversial hot take.
Yeah.
Right there.
It's not even anymore. Is it a hot take still? Are we sure?
It's not a hot take anymore because I've learned that Star Wars fans are.
They're like, hey, let's be upset that a girl is good at Star Wars stuff now.
No,
that she can use the Force. Hey, let's get mad at. I forgot her name. Who plays Amy? No, Rose.
Rose. I was not upset with her. I just thought that she was not handled properly.
Let's make an entire cut of the film that takes out all the scenes with the women. That is a true story, Jack. Someone made a cut of Star Wars: The Last Jedi where they could cut all of the scenes that involved the women in it. And the movie, as a result, was 45 minutes long, which is hilarious, by the way.
Doesn't that kind of alone tell you that, like, maybe you're on the wrong path, buddy?
Yeah, a little bit.
I wanted to go to Star Wars Celebration, and I thought for a fact, I'm like, I can't deal with Star Wars fans for a whole weekend because my brain would just be like turned to mush. Because
what do you think that guy's like what he was doing is like his mom's like calling him for dinner and he's like,
Mom,
hold on,
I'm
taking out all the women from Star Wars.
I'm complaining about Star Wars again.
What a
like for me, like I'm just like, you guys, Last Jedi wasn't that bad. It's like a
awesome movie.
It's a solid 8 out of 10 movie. It's not great, but
I don't care about no ratings. Bottom line is it was destructively good.
It did do a lot.
I freaked Trevor out for a second there. But let's just move on, because if we keep talking about this, we're going to talk about Star Wars forever.
Yeah.
Next story is that Devil May Cry series, animated series, is coming from the producer of Castlevania. This via Engadget. After Adi Shankar chalked up a hit with his animated Castlevania series on Netflix, what's he going to do next? Why adapt another classic, darkly themed video game franchise, of course? Shankar told IGN in an interview that he's developing an anime Devil May Cry series as part of what he says is a bootleg multiverse. He did buy the rights, to be clear. He's just making sure the, in quotes, jabronis in Hollywood don't mess up the treatment of Capcom's stylish shoot and slash titles. I don't think that's a bad word. Find out later. There's not much to show beyond that, although Shankar did post a teaser picture showing what looks like Dante from DMC games. Do you guys care?
I can't wait to see this because I actually like the showrunner, and he's one of my favorite showrunners of all time.
He's really good.
And I've actually met him.
He's
and
interesting.
He's really nice, and he's like, he really cares about fan content, and he really understands it.
He's the hope for adapting video game stuff right now, especially when it comes to anime stuff, because apparently this Castlevania series is really good.
No, it's really good.
I heard it's like legit amazing.
It's like, I'm on season 2 right now. It's slow, but it rewards you for everything.
But let's move on now.
Yeah.
Also being read from Variety, Big Mouth has been renewed for season 3 on Netflix. It's a show that everyone has been telling me to watch. Reading now from Variety, Big Mouth has been renewed for a 3rd season on Netflix. The streamer announced on Saturday. The animated comedy series, which hails from real-life best friends Nick Kroll and Andrew Goldberg, tells stories about the glorious nightmare that is teenage puberty. Season 2 debuted on October 5th. Community, I don't want to read the rest of this, but I haven't watched this, but people tell me I should, and I figure this is a big story. I don't know. I do bad with vulgar cartoons, so like I don't like Simpsons, Futurama, Family Guy. Not that I think they're bad. It's just for some reason I've never particularly gotten it. But yeah, that's big news for them. Next story is that Jack Reacher is getting a TV reboot. Oh yeah. A lot of people care about this, I'm sure.
A lot of people like me. I care about this a little bit.
Yeah.
But
I mean, I love Tom Cruise, and he was in this movie, and I'm a Tom Cruise-ite in every sense.
That first Jack Reacher movie was awesome.
I liked it. Reading now from Deadline, Jack Reacher may be headed to television. Lee Child, whose Jack Reacher book series was turned into a pair of Paramount movies starring Tom Cruise, said today that there is a deal in place to turn the novels into a TV series. According to Child, there will be no more movies with Tom Cruise, and he also won't star in the potential TV series. So it's whatever. This is, I don't care anymore. I don't even know why I put this down.
I
whatever.
don't care.
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. was renewed for season 6. big show that people like apparently. I only saw like half of the first season. Maybe,
I can give
but
you.
I heard it got really good. No, don't even give me a synopsis. I don't care.
I like to sigh.
Apparently, an Aquaman trailer just dropped. Cool. And are you guys interested in Aquaman?
I just want to see my Black Manta. That's it.
Yeah, that's fair.
I just want to see.
He's the bad guy.
All I want to see is Black Manta. I don't
People
care
like
about
him.
anything else. I really don't.
And then lastly, just because movie news is kind of whack this week, let's be honest, but the
It
last
was.
one, Bad Boys for Life, the third Bad Boys movie, starts shooting in January.
I can't help but laugh
Oh
when
my
Trevor
God.
laughs.
And
Something
guess
doesn't even
this.
have to be
Oh
funny.
my
And get
God.
this. You know how they spelled it?
Bad Boys for
Life, and then the E is a 3.
Oh my god.
I know.
It's like an early 2000s thing.
It's
and
like when you're making your Xbox Live username and you're like,
It's
oh,
like-
this will be good, right? Yeah.
It's like Rocket Boy 280.
Yeah, Rocket Boy 280, XXX, Triple X 420, stuff like that. So it's really bad. But yeah, that's the end of the movie news. We're going to be right back after a quick break and get into the gaming news, which is a little more interesting this week. So stay tuned, guys. Listen to the Digital Dash on 90.3 WMSC, Upper Montclair. And we're back, everybody, here on 90.3 WMSC Upper Montclair. Just a quick break there. You might have heard my voice over the PSA. I'm not sure. I don't think you did. But, hey, whatever. Moving on to the gaming news. Now, Trevor, give me the Reese's Pieces that you were going to give me. That's right. As you know, you guys know, we're joined by Trevor Gioia and Jack Barteck.
Hey there.
Going
Hello.
through some gaming news. So this is more interesting this week. There's actually a lot that happened,
Yeah.
or at least a good amount. So let's get into some of the lighter things. And now my mic is out of control, but all good.
These mics are something else, man.
Overwatch, it is something else. Overwatch is going to be free for a week this Thanksgiving. It's kind of cool, right? For people who haven't played it. The 2 people who haven't played it, I guess. Overwatch,
me.
Yeah, like you.
Like me.
Via Polygon. Overwatch is going free over the Thanksgiving holiday for all players and on all platforms. The trial begins Tuesday, November 20th at 11 a.m. Pacific time and ends Monday, November 26th at 11:59 p.m. Pacific time. Free trial means players get all of the game's content, plus all 29 heroes, including the newest, Ashe, who went live just a couple of days ago. All 19 maps and game types are also available. Progress earned in the free weekend will carry over for those who decide to buy Overwatch. So that's really cool. It's a big game. And it's nice that Blizzard's like doing this little like Thanksgiving promotion thing. You know what I mean? I've played it. It's a great game. Excellent game.
They're just trying to reconcile over the Diablo thing.
Yeah. I was just about to get into that.
They're just trying to be like, don't mind us.
Yeah, we may have messed that up last week, but hey, you know, it's whatever. So yeah, let's move on. That's basically it for that. It's just a cool thing. The next thing is that PUBG, PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, is coming to PlayStation 4.
Wow, people still play that.
Yeah. Oh, yes. A lot of people play it.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
I might get heat
We
for
don't
that,
realize
but
it as much because it's more of a PC popular game right now.
Yeah.
And Fortnite is for consoles, I'd say. That's where that's more
Yeah.
popular. Reading from The Verge, PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds is arriving on Sony's PlayStation 4 on December 7th. The base game will be priced at $30 on the PS4 with a Survivors Edition at $50 and Champions Edition for $60. Both the extra editions include bonus G-Coin and extra in-game rewards, and pre-orders begin today.
Hopefully it won't
Today
be
as in November 13th.
Hopefully it won't be as glitchy as the Xbox One release.
I hope so. Because I heard it did not do well when it came out on there.
Oh yeah.
Bro, you see me messing with this mic right now?
It's
It's
just
insane.
to give clarification. The mic is moving around so much that it's just not staying in one place.
Unbelievable.
How about the mic today when I came in for the morning?
Yeah,
buzz?
it died.
This
It really
middle
died.
mic, I don't
It
know
went
how
limp.
you're
Yeah.
even using it right now
Yeah.
because it was pointing literally straight down, like
How?
directly to the ground.
Like I don't understand how people just don't understand how to move.
Frankie
mics.
had to come from behind the desk and like Jimmy with it for 15 minutes before he could fix it. The whole thing, it was like inside out.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to Frankie.
Shout out to
Frankie Perez, one of the greats. Next up, EA has announced the Commander and Conquer series will be getting some remakes. Reading from Variety, a lot of variety today. Real-time strategy game franchise Command and Conquer celebrates its 25th anniversary in 2020, and publisher Electronic Arts wants to mark the occasion with 2 PC remasters. It officially announced on Wednesday. For those who don't know, Command and Conquer just a really big PC kind of franchise for strategy stuff. You know what I mean? Like people who like Civilization tend to enjoy these games, stuff like that. And I know my dad loves Civilization. He wasted his life away when I think it was 4 came out years ago. I'm gonna say it was 4. Civ 4 was huge. Great games. They're not my cup of tea, but I know a lot of people care about them, so good for them. And moving on to the next story. Let's see here. What should I go with? Nintendo says Nintendo 64 Classic isn't coming anytime soon. Wah, wah. So this is basically, I'm just going to read from Polygon for a couple seconds. If my computer would load, that'd be great. I'm starting to think my computer's on the fritz, guys. I really am. Like, I think that this could be it.
I think you need to like start preparing a funeral for
I know. I'm going to start. I'm going to do a Viking funeral. You guys can
Start preparing a funeral.
Yeah, I'm going to like shoot the arrow. You know, it'll have the music in the background. If you're hoping that Nintendo would follow its NES Classic and SNES Classic with a miniaturized version of its Nintendo 64, Reggie Fils-Aimé, president of Nintendo of America, has some bad news. In an interview with Kotaku, Fils-Aimé said that Nintendo 64 Classic is, in quotes, not in our planning horizon. Normally, a response like that could be interpreted as a soft deflection that Nintendo has not announced such a product and has no plans to reveal one during an interview ostensibly held to promote the company's holiday lineup. Nintendo could, of course, still release a Nintendo 64 Classic at a time beyond its planning horizon. But Fils-Aimé explained why the company may not try out a third mini version of one of its consoles. Now, there's more. You guys can check out the article. But you guys big fans of Nintendo 64?
I
got any memories?
I never played it.
Yeah,
Whack.
I was never a big N64 guy. I was never actually.
It
took me a long time to get into video games because my mom always
Same.
encouraged me to like go out and do like.
Probably for the best.
Yeah, my
Look
mom
what
was
happened
my
to me,
mom
you know?
was like, go outside. I don't. My mom was like, just go outside. I don't want to have you indoors.
Javier with the sick burns on himself.
That's what I do, bro.
I think my first console was the original Xbox.
The original Xbox. Did you play that Blinks the Cat? Were you a big fan of Blinks the Cat?
I played Spy vs. Spy, Tony Hawk's Underground 2, and all the games.
And all the games.
No,
You
I
played all
don't.
them games.
I don't want to start listing all of them.
Yeah, you better not.
Yeah,
Or else.
because you'll just cut me off at one point. Because you'll be like, that's enough.
That's enough. That's enough
That's
out
enough.
of you.
That's enough.
Can you guess what my first console was?
The Game Boy.
No, but that
it was
a
the
good
PlayStation
guess.
2.
No,
It
my
was the
so
Nintendo Wii.
are you counting handhelds?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so I got a Nintendo Wii,
Mm-hmm.
and then a Nintendo
Nice.
DS,
Okay.
and then a PSP.
I had.
And it took me a while to go from the PSP to the 360.
I had.
360.
I had.
I used to be one of those that was like PlayStation 3 so much better. Looking back, I'm like, nah, Xbox 360 was better.
360
Just
was
the
classic.
The interface just worked better.
No,
The controller was
yeah.
infinitely better. It's one of my favorite controls ever. The 360
for me,
controller.
I had.
and it just worked better. Like PlayStation had better exclusive titles.
Yeah.
But Xbox, everything just ran better. They didn't have stupid like system software nonsense. It just ran better as a console. Not anymore. PlayStation 4 is better, but
For me, like I had a Game Boy Advance SP, a DS. Then I got the PlayStation Portable. The
bro,
silver.
I started with Game Boy Color.
The silver.
Oh yeah, Teletubbies,
Wow.
bro. No, I don't think it was Teletubbies.
No,
Why am
no,
saying that? It was Power Rangers for the Game Boy Color.
I had
The game is baloney, by the way.
I had Shrek on Game Boy Advance.
Not bad, not bad. Everyone's got a weird like first game they played. Or whatever.
Like for me, the weirdest one was probably on PSP that I completely destroyed was Star Wars Battlefront, Renegade Squadron. That game I destroyed that disc because I played it so much. Because it's just so addictive. Once you start playing Battlefront, it's so addictive to the point where you're just like, I can keep going and going and going.
I remember playing a Dragon Ball Z game on my PSP for the longest time. I wasn't even a big Dragon Ball guy. And so began my obsession with Kid Buu, this pink cotton candy looking fool who just destroyed planets with like by smiling and like throwing a little energy ball at them. It was great. I love that dude. Look up Kid Buu when you have a chance.
You know,
Boo spelled B-U-U.
you know what somebody said to me the other day? Kind of made me really sad, actually.
What's that?
Do you remember the game Nintendogs?
Oh, I do.
Yeah.
Whatever happened to our Nintendogs?
Man, whatever happened to being young?
Like those poor guys,
Yeah.
guys and girls are probably trapped right
Yeah,
now,
man.
just in our little Nintendo DS.
All right, this is getting dark.
Yeah.
Let's get to the next story. I talked about this on the Morning Buzz, if you guys listen to that. But Sony is going to be skipping E3 2019. This via Kotaku. Sony's skipping next year's E3, ditching its traditional booth and press conference in a move that will have a significant negative impact on the video game industry's annual trade show. The Entertainment Software Association, the lobbyist group that runs E3, confirmed the news today, as did Sony. This is yet another blow to the annual Los Angeles trade show, which has seen multiple publishers drop out over the past few years. Electronic Arts now holds its own event in Hollywood in the days leading up to E3. Well, last year, Microsoft rented out a theater at LA Live, a few minutes away from the convention center where E3 takes place. Nintendo has spent the past 5 years eschewing traditional press conferences in favor of pre-recorded videos, and with Sony gone, one of E3's other marquee press conferences will now also not be present in 2019. Big news for me. I treat the E3 conference, especially for PlayStation, as my personal Super Bowl. That's right. I will watch that over the NBA Finals. It's true, you guys, my friends. They yelled at me and said I was a big fan. And then I yelled back at them. I was like, well, who spent $100 on the Game Pass? So where are we at right now? You know what I'm saying? This is before I discovered, other ways to watch games. And, by just watching TV, of course.
Yeah.
And it was crazy, and I love it, though. And I was watching when I think I was telling you about this, I don't know, it was the E3 that they announced the Spider-Man game, that they announced Crash Bandicoot coming out. It was a ridiculous stuff. It was like a movie, honestly. You could look it up, and they have people coming out and these holograms lighting up like a bridge. I was like, what's going on? Oh my gosh, this is incredible. This is the Oscars.
That E3 Sony press conference was great.
It was fantastic.
I really loved that press conference.
It's the best I've ever seen.
Especially the God of War.
The God of War, and everything happened at that one.
For me, and then Nintendo's like, yeah, we got the Switch. Nintendo's like, we got the Switch. We got Dark Souls, which will eventually come out, which I don't know.
Yeah, we'll see. I wanted to go through one last story, but before we do that, we're going to take a little bit of a break. And when we come back, we're going to talk about the Game Awards, because they revealed their announcements, they announced their nominees for Game of the Year and stuff like that. So stay tuned, guys. Listen to Diddle Dash here on 90.3 WMSC, Upper Montclair. And we're back, everybody, here on 90.3 WMSC Upper Montclair. I'm being joined by my two homies, Jack Barteck and Trevor Gioia.
Hello.
Howdy.
And I just wanted to run quickly to finish up all the news and stuff, to run through the Game Award nominees, which were released just last week, and they're going to be on December 6th. Just to run through a few, not all of them. There's a lot. There's stuff like, obviously you have Game of the Year. You have, hold on, where is the category list? There we go. You have Game of the Year, Best Ongoing Game, which I don't believe was a category last year. Best Game Direction, Narrative, Art Direction, Score, presented by Spotify. Best Audio Design, presented by Dolby. I like how they say that here. Best Performance, Games for Impact, Independent Games, Mobile Games, VR, Action, Role-Playing, Adventure, each genre, Sports, Esports, Content Creator of the Years. They have a lot of cool awards here. And the reason why I want to bring it up is because, one, the show was just straight up really good last year. The guy who runs his name is Jeff Keighley, and everyone should be rooting for him because he's really putting up this Herculean effort to try and make this thing a thing. And he's been trying for years. It used to be on Spike TV, and it was okay. And now it's more than just a place where you get a cheap game reveal, because I think last year the show was just straight up really good. It was really well paced. They had good awards, and it just operated well. I actually watched it because usually I watch this almost for comedic effect.
Oh,
not even comedic effect, just ironically,
the montage of 2015 and 2016.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
No, the Game Awards.
What do you mean? What do you mean by montage?
Basically, somebody put together a whole montage.
Your thing, yeah.
The whole montage of awkward moments that happened at the Game Awards.
I feel like I might even. Is it by Jim Sterling? This video?
No, it's by Collab Cat.
Okay, I don't know who that is.
But he basically compiled a whole videos of the most awkward moments at Game of the Awards.
Mm-hmm.
Can't do words today.
But just to go through a couple, and the reason, of course, I want to bring this up is because one of the games of the year, for Game of the Year, the nominees: Assassin's Creed Odyssey from Ubisoft, Celeste from Matt Makes Games, God of War from Sony Santa Monica, Monster Hunter World from Capcom, Red Dead Redemption 2 from Rockstar Games, and of course, Marvel's Spider-Man from Insomniac Games. That's right,
I-
ladies
I-
and gentlemen.
I-
Now you know why I was bringing this up.
I-
Of course, it was nominated for Game of the Year. It should be, and it should win. Easily.
I think it's going to be a tough draw between Red Dead Redemption
I think God of War takes it.
and God of War takes it.
God of War takes it because nobody really. Rockstar's almost like the Brady of this, where like, or no, they're actually like the LeBron of this, where they don't really want to give. You don't need to say Rockstar's good anymore.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, okay. And also, the game just came out. It's not complete fully.
No.
Spider-Man's like the underdog that people like.
Yeah.
I know people. I like Monster Hunter. I played a little bit of it. It's a pretty cool game. I didn't play any of Assassin's Creed because that franchise is trash.
It is trash. Hot take.
Trevor's just agreeing with everything today. I'm surprised by this.
No, because
I was downloading Celeste the other day and I was gonna play it. And God of War I haven't finished, to be fair.
because for me, even though I don't own a PS4, this is coming from a person that doesn't own a PS4, doesn't own an Xbox One. I personally like God of War.
Mm-hmm.
And you're cracking your neck at me because
Ooh.
I'm not allowed to crack my neck. You're done. Goodbye. It's just you and me now, Jack.
Hey.
Then yeah, just best ongoing game, which is things like kind of like games being updated, I guess. And there is where Fortnite comes in. For best ongoing game, it's awarded to a game for outstanding development of ongoing content that evolves the player experience over time. You know what I mean? Like DLC, it's like maybe it got better or whatever. Trevor, your thing's lower, so they can't hear you anyway.
So
The nominees are, firstly, Destiny 2 Forsaken, No Man's Sky from Hello Games, Overwatch from Blizzard, Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Siege, and then, of course, Fortnite from Epic Games.
So that category's made for Fortnite.
Essentially, it's made for Fortnite.
Yeah.
And this Rainbow Six game, too. The Rainbow Six Siege is
Siege?
huge.
Yeah.
You see, even that game was
Even
nothing when
I
yeah.
know about
Yeah,
it.
yeah. It was. We'll use Jack as the litmus test for selling if something's nuclear levels of popularity. Rainbow Six Siege was kind of like a soft release. Then they updated it. They stayed with it. You know what I mean? Very Carl Malone and oh gosh, what's his name? The all-time assist dude.
John Stockton.
John Stockton, like where they just stayed with that core for a while and finally made it. It's like Rainbow Six Siege. Like that analogy? Not bad, right?
That was a good one. On the fly too.
On the fly, man. Yeah, I don't take notes. Best narrative, you know, all the Detroit Become Human, God of War, Life is Strange, Red Dead Redemption 2, and Marvel Spider-Man. I don't know what'll win that. I think God of War. I think God of War is going to win a lot of things, and I haven't finished it yet, so I'm not going to really talk too much smack about it. But that being said, Spider-Man should win every single award that it was nominated for, and that's my take. What do you think, Trevor? Do you agree?
it's fine.
Yeah, you better agree.
Yeah.
So he's intimidated now. I got him right where I want him. But yeah, I'm really excited for the Game Awards. They're actually really fun. I don't know who's performing. Just in terms of me, you know, I have to keep up with all the news and stuff going on in the gaming industry. There'll be world premieres. And the better the show does, the more high-profile world premieres that they'll probably have. And it's going to be interesting because, like I said, Jeff Keighley puts a lot of work into this. And he's been kind of ridiculed by a lot of people in the industry for even trying to make this happen. And they're saying you can't do it. And video games can't be like the Oscars or whatever and this and stuff. People make fun of him. Shout out Joe McHale, who was just a jerk on one of the years that he was hosting. I just remember him just totally like bashing everything and it just wasn't vibing. It was like, all right, dude, like, I mean, I love Joe McHale for Community, but you know, that's it. And lastly, that's it for the gaming news. But let me go into my reads of the week real quick. The first one is The Year of Mac. This is a selection of a bunch of pieces from a website called DJ Booth by Donna Claire Chesman. Stuff on Larry Lovestein, one of Mac Miller's projects, Blue Slide Park, and this kind of not feeling bad that you still aren't over his passing. Obviously means a lot to me. Everybody knows I love Mac Miller a lot. And she's been writing basically every week some story feature on something about Mac Miller's career, his discography, his personal life, everything. And they've been really good, so I really recommend checking those out. The next one, in celebration of the fact that I'll be talking about Vince Staples soon, is a little bit of an older piece, just a short interview called I Went on a Date with Vince Staples, the Happiest Nihilist in the World. This you can check out at Noisy by Isabel Hellier. And there's some really funny quotes in there that I still use to this day, honestly, that I can't say on air because it's Vince Staples and he likes to be quite vulgar. But it's great. It's a really good read. So check that out on Noisy if you'd like. And next up, Jimmy Butler, Le'Veon Bell, and the Season of Fighting for Player Power. This is from The Ringer by Michael Bauman. Really extensive piece. And what are you guys laughing at?
Le'Veon Bell
That's what you're laughing at? No, you weren't.
and Jimmy Butler.
That's not what you were laughing at.
No,
Exactly. What were you laughing at then?
I went on a date with Vince Staples.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, Trevor. I got my eye on you too, Jack. Don't think I've forgotten about you.
Whoa.
Don't think I've forgotten, man.
Whoa.
You guys look like you're scheming some things. But yeah, it's a really good piece talking about, player power. And there's been a lot of interesting examples, and I really recommend it. It's got some bars in there for sure about just some takes on the sports industry and how it's been kind of operating lately, especially. And then for the third one, let me get it here. Or no, I'm sorry, that was the third one. But a special bonus, Adulting, from the website Real Time with Bill Maher by known idiot Bill Maher. I'm just kidding. I added that known idiot part. Basically, this is a bonus because I recommend people, if you want to know what ignorance and kind of like just ignorance, you know what I mean? Read it. It's about Bill Maher questioning the legacy of Stan Lee and titled Adulting and why are comic books important and that people give them too much value. And basically, it essentially means he has not looked at a TV screen for the past 20 years to not understand why comic books are important. But what? Even Jack, who doesn't read comics, is like, what are we talking about here, dude? Bill Maher, by the way, I said known idiot as a joke. He's actually really funny. Like, I don't watch his show as much. He can be a big, you know what? You know what I mean? A lot of times.
It's
just like, what are you
really
doing?
Hot take.
It's an incendiary type of thing to get the whole comic book community up in flames. Stan Lee is a huge figure, not just in comic books, not just in pop culture, but just in anything. In general, he's a huge, big deal. And saying adulting, that's just incredibly pretentious. Sorry that not all of us want to read Tom Sawyer all day or Shakespeare. That does not make it any less important in terms of literature and story. So yeah.
I really dislike, and this is something that I've grown to dislike more and more as I've grown up and I've gotten into the field that I want to go into. When people just say things to get a rise out of other people.
Yeah.
Like
Bill Maher's known for that.
Come on. That's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
And he knew what he was doing when he said it.
He's a very smart guy and he's very funny. He's a funny dude. It's just sometimes he crosses the line a lot. Likes to have people like Milo Yiannopoulos on. I could go on this forever, but he can be a little bit over the top and ridiculous sometimes. Trevor, if you laugh one more time,
I'm laughing at the Vince Staples article.
Are you reading it right now?
Yeah.
Oh, that's what you did? Hey! I didn't know what. Because this whole time he's been just going.
He pulled up the Vince Staples article. I pulled up the Le'Veon Bell and Jimmy Butler article.
It's pretty funny, right? Not the Le'Veon Bell one. That one's a long read, so we probably need more time for that. But the Vince Staples ones, there's just funny answers he gives, and I just enjoy it a lot. Vince Staples, really low-key, really smart, interesting guy. His response to the video, I don't know if you guys remember this from a while ago, where it was this white woman who was like crying overhearing a song of his on the radio because of the lyrics and stuff. It was like a big story at the time, and I actually thought he had an interesting response to that. You guys should check that out. Where he's basically like, everyone was jumping conclusions, saying like she's obviously being racist and she's silly, and the internet just completely roasted her. And Vince, oddly enough, was kind of like, no, like I just think that she might have a point or whatever. Like just look that stuff up. I don't want to go into it too much time. But yeah, those are the reads of the week. And also remember to go check out the school paper, the Montclarian. I'm the assistant entertainment editor there, and there's really lots of great stuff being pumped out every week. We have a student artist profile coming out. We have a student athlete profile coming out, or it came out. There we go. We got some movie stuff. We got it all on the Montclarian. And I haven't written for a while because I'm lazy, but I'll be back to it soon. Hopefully, if he's listening, he allows me to. No, I'm kidding. He of course allows me to. I just haven't yet.
Let me ask Javier, since you're in the production over there.
Yeah.
Did our mentioning of Kelly Wexstein on the Morning Buzz have anything to do with the Montclarian taking notice?
What actually happened is it got 450 extra views when I said that.
Really?
Just kidding. I have no idea. I wish.
That would be awesome.
That would be awesome. But yeah, check out Montclarian, guys. Montclarian.org. And you can also pick it up on campus every Thursday. Not this Thursday because it's Thanksgiving week, and there won't be like any meetings and any not too much stuff.
Nothing happens on Thanksgiving.
Nothing happens on Thanksgiving week. And speaking of Thanksgiving week, we have to take a break first. We're going to take a little bit of a break, and when we come back, we're just going to talk about Thanksgiving. Everything, all encompassing the great holiday of Thanksgiving. And I have some takes, and you guys better be ready for them.
Takesgiving?
Takesgiving. It's exactly right, Jack. Stay tuned, guys. Listen to Digital Dash here on 90.3 WMSC, Upper Montclair. And we're back here, everybody, on 90.3 WMSC, Upper Montclair. It's the Digital Dash. I'm joined by Jack Barteck and Trevor Gioia.
Hello.
Heyo.
And we're just winging it. Winging it.
Yeah.
Why do I say winging it? because we're talking about wings and stuff, sort of.
Hey.
We're talking about Thanksgiving because Thanksgiving is this week. Did you know that, Trevor?
Yes, I knew that.
Are you sure you knew it?
Yes, I'm sure.
Okay, just had to make sure. And yeah, I just want to talk about Thanksgiving in general and why I think over time I feel like Thanksgiving has become a much better holiday, one that I've enjoyed more. Not because of my family. I hate my family, of course. I'm kidding. And I feel like it's just straightforward, man. Just eat food and watch football. That's what I do. Just hang out, do good. Don't do anything illegal. You know what I mean? Don't do that. That's bad, obviously. And like Trevor, it looks like you want to say something. It looks like a cat got your tongue. Is that the phrase?
For me, Thanksgiving is an okay holiday for me.
Okay.
It's not the fact that I'm not a big sports person.
Mm-hmm.
I'm one of the few least sports heavy in my family. Like enjoy sports.
Mm-hmm.
Like
it's fine. No judgment here.
But for me, like Thanksgiving is just like eat food and just relax. For me, like
you don't love it.
I don't love it.
You don't love it. I think it's interesting because when I was a kid, I remember having Thanksgiving and it would be like with like huge family. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'd be at the kids' table. I would not be able to talk to anybody. I was not at that level of intellectuality, of course.
The kids' table.
You know what I mean? The kids' table. And there was barely even anyone with me at the kids' table. It'd be by myself. I'd be playing my DS or something like that the whole night. And they're like, hey, what do you want to be when you grow up? And I'm like, I just want to play my Nintendo DS, bro. You know what I mean? That's all I want to do right now.
I got a kids' table story.
Oh, you do?
I have a lot of kids' table stories.
Mine was just my one cousin would be a lunatic and always want to go outside and play, and I was like, can we just chill? I was not a regular child, man. I was so normal in a disturbing way where I'd be like, you know how like when you get out of the movie theater, maybe when you go see a movie, it's like, what did you think of it? Yeah, that was great. Whoa, yeah, the explosion. I'd be like, yeah, it was good. You know what I mean? And now I'm much different. You know what I mean? Like now I've become the lunatic. I don't know what happened when I was a child. I remember my sister always talks about this. I think she might be listening. Where like we were at the beach once, and flies were just attacking me. Like they left me in like a tent thing. I don't know the exact specifics. And then I was just calmly like, "We need to go." That's all I said. I didn't cry. I didn't do anything. I was just like, we need to go. They tell that story every Thanksgiving. I'm probably going to hear it this Thanksgiving too for my sister. So shout out to her if she's listening. So yeah, I'm really curious. What are your guys' kids' stories? Let's go.
Do you want to start?
Let me hear.
You can start.
I have so many. For me, like most of my kids' stories involve like somebody eventually like getting hurt eventually down the line, but it's not like anything bad. It's just more like we just get like into really my cousins that I really like are 90% of the time we like just
roughhousing.
We just joke around.
Joking around.
Like just completely make fun of one single cousin.
Ooh, the roast sessions.
Yeah.
Ooh, I've never been a part of those. Those aren't fun.
See, like
they sometimes are fun, but nobody likes to admit they're only fun when you're at a certain like hierarchy and you're not the bottom. It's fun if you're not the bottom.
No. We make fun of last year for Thanksgiving I went down to Charlottesville.
Okay.
And
wow, okay.
We got to do Thanksgiving at one of my cousin's places. So all of a sudden we just made fun of Adam. We just started making fun of one of my cousins because
shout out Adam.
We call him like we say he looks like Scott Farkas from The Christmas Story.
Oh my gosh. That's great. I like that. I don't even know what I look like. There's one picture I'm going to show you guys later where I look like I have the face.
I called my cousin Parker I wouldn't have him anywhere near a school because he had a really interesting mustache during the period of time.
Whoa, easy there, bud. Holy crap, that went somewhere.
See, I'm so good at roasting because I'm just like
the roasts that have been said amongst my friends. Amongst my family involving other members of my family cannot be repeated. They are real bad, but in a fun way. They're fun though, and we even make like kind of stereotypical jokes about each other, but it's okay because we're all family and stuff. And now I just have more of a smaller family gathering.
It's more like small for me. It's like for me Thanksgiving is just like a day for me to just
chill out. That's what I need, man, because I'm tired. I'm not like stressed out like most of our kids. I've been working a lot for sure, but I'm more like I just need a little bit of thing. You know what I mean? Just give me those 2 days. I'm gonna have Thanksgiving on Thursday and then Friendsgiving on Friday. Like I said, I was telling Jack before, going all the way, doubleheader, baby. You know what I'm saying? Subway series, man. You know what I mean?
I'm going to like.
Literally Subway.
I don't have class on Wednesday, so I'm just gonna go. I'm gonna detox on Wednesday.
Maybe might go see some Creed 2, some Wreck-It Ralph 2.
So
Breaks the internet. Oh man, I'm excited, man. It's gonna be great.
For
So
me,
Jack, Trevor, you done yet?
yeah, I'm done.
No, if you aren't done yet, go ahead. Like,
no, for me, like the other joke is like how like I do like making fun of the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade sometimes, and there was one year where we just were skipping for the channels and we saw the Boston Thanksgiving Day Parade.
Okay,
and we're just like, this is like a knockoff version of the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade, trying too hard.
Pretty much everything in Boston is a knockoff version of New York. Let's just be honest. Their sports teams, just the way they think. You know what I mean? They're like, you guys just buy players. It's like, okay.
Yeah, sure.
Shout out to the Red Sox. You guys have a great team, unfortunately. So, Jack, you said you had some stories, some things.
I enjoyed listening to you guys laugh and frolic about your nice making
this
fun
is gonna
of
be good.
people
I can't
stories. Yeah, so the thing is that I am the youngest. Which makes me the roastee and not the roaster.
Oh no.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. Oh dear.
And this isn't exactly a Thanksgiving kids table story, but in the summer, I live right next to my cousins, and we're really close. So we would barbecue almost every weekend, every summer when I was younger. So we had like a patio in the backyard. My backyard was like an L shape. So at like the bottom of the L was the patio table and like the grill and all that, and that's where all the adults would sit. And then for some reason, around the L is where the kids table was. So it was pretty much out of the view of the adults. Which, I mean, like, it wasn't out of the view where, like, my cousins would beat me up or something. They wouldn't do that anyway, even though they did like to mess with me. Like, one time they tied a rope to my foot and told me to run. And I ran because I didn't know any better.
What frat is this? What frat is this?
It's like...
Yeah, and then there's the kids' table, and I remember it distinctly. It was blue, and it had little pink benches attached to it.
Okay.
And I sat there. It got to the point where it was me, my sister Cameron, and my cousin Kevin. And my sister Cameron and my cousin Kevin are the same age. And at this time in my life, I will admit, I was a whiny little baby. Totally, like, I took the fact that I was babied and I milked it to every extent.
Nice.
Because I knew I was the youngest. And, like, They gave me trouble for it, but I knew I was going to get every last bit out of being the youngest. I was a little baby, and they like to make fun of me for it. So one day we were sitting at the kids' table. I dropped my fork. I went to pick it up, and I look under the kids' table, and in Sharpie, it's just a bunch of really bad stick figure drawings of me. I know because my name was next to them, and there would just be like kid insults. But when you're a kid insults are like
those cut deep, man.
Yeah,
it's like,
and it was a whole
four
list,
eyes, stuff like that.
Like the whole table was covered in kid insults. And I got up and I threw a fit. Like running around the yard, screaming, crying, and that didn't go over well. That did not go over well.
I think for me, like most of I don't have any like Thanksgiving like memories. It's just more like
that was dark.
My cousins. No, it's just like my cousins are. Like,
I get you. Go on, Trevor. Go on.
Like,
I'm just
for me, my cousins, like on my mom's side, the Gerards and the Backholes, are really fun to be around. Basically, 1 year during the beach house event, me and the cousin decided that it would be a great idea to steal every single star for a scavenger hunt.
What star?
So we stole these.
We talking stars from outer space?
No,
that takes a lot, man.
No, we stole like toy stars.
Okay.
So we just stole every single one of them, and the adults came up with like towels on stars, and then we cheated a little bit.
I'm a little bit confused, but this sounds really fun, honestly.
Yeah.
I like scavenger hunts. Scavenger hunts are underrated.
I love scavenger hunts.
Especially when everyone, you gotta have people who are in on it too.
Yeah.
Don't have those people who are like, whatever.
No,
because they're not cool.
I've
said that a lot of times.
I've
said that so many times
during that same scavenger hunt, my grandpa went on a bike without a bike helmet, and my
Oh,
grandma
wow.
was
No,
yelling.
that might be not caring a little bit. That may be too much. I don't mean to the point where safety is no longer a concern. That's more suicidal, if anything.
Yeah,
but yeah, being the person who doesn't care and thinks that it's uncool, like you're gonna have like that 15 or 16-year-old at your Thanksgiving probably if you're going to a big family gathering.
Oh,
who's
yeah.
like gonna be on their phone. They don't want to do the singing. I don't know. Maybe people sing, and it's
No,
like
no,
they don't
my-
want to do that group thing. It's like nah, you're whack, bro.
Thank you.
All right, go for it. Trust me. It's just fun.
I could not have
Embrace
said it
the
better
absurdity.
myself.
Like
You know?
for me,
In
like
everything.
for
Yeah,
me,
in everything,
I
honestly.
can't wait for Christmas because I'm starting to.
Oh man, believe me, the Christmas show here, my Christmas show, I can't wait. I'm planning already, man. It's gonna be a bonanza.
See,
Ugly
that makes
Christmas
me
sweaters.
nervous. That makes me nervous.
I don't even know what my last show will be. I think it'll be like the 11th or something like that.
Yeah.
So I really have to plan it out ahead. It's gonna be fun. But as we're approaching the top of the hour here on 90.3 WMC at Montclair, I remember one year for Thanksgiving. Now this is the craziness of my family. I never really know what to expect for Thanksgiving. Sometimes me and my dad are like, "Can we just put on the football?" And we've got some people who remain nameless. You know, may or may not be my stepmom. Shout out to you if you're listening. Who's just like, no, put on like the fireplace and put on the dog show or I don't know what is on.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, no. And I grew up old enough, so now it gets to the point where I'm like, no, we're putting on the football, okay? This is tradition. You know I love football. It's one day of the year. I need to see the Chicago Bears and Detroit Lions, all right? I got fantasy players now. You know what I mean? It's a big, big deal. I hate that. I hate it when people do. So now it's like me and my dad like escape to the background or whatever, and like we put it on the TV.
For me, I'm just gonna go watch a movie or something like that. I'm just like, I don't.
Oh yeah, speaking of movies, and we're officially at the top of the hour. I don't know. I wonder sometimes if I have to say it at the exact time.
Or if you hit it before. I was wondering the same thing.
I've been wondering because I've heard it all over the place. I've heard you don't have to say technically top of the hour. I've heard you do. I've heard you can say it at 59
you have
seconds.
to say it at 5:00.
Yeah, it's like whoa,
Yeah.
exactly that face too. But yeah, we're 90.3 WMSC Upper Montclair. And you were talking about movies. I remember one year. Now this is how insane my family is. This was the wildest Thanksgiving ever. No. When people think wildest Thanksgiving ever, they're like, oh, did the one adult get drunk and start saying things that they probably shouldn't say? You know how everyone has that one older person that you're kind of like, whatever.
Okay, let's take away the whiskey from you, Grandpa.
It's like the grandpa starts going on about maybe saying some offensive things. You know what I mean? Like they say things you probably can't say anymore, but you're okay with it because you're family and like he's old and you're like, whatever, man. It's just like that's funny.
I saw an SNL skit the other day, and it was about how a county in Florida has elected the first like all LGBTQ government office. I forget exactly what it was, but they said they've elected whatever. And for more on that, ask your grandpa at the Thanksgiving dinner.
That's good. But yeah, for the movies, it's not that we were wild and going crazy or anything like that. No, people weren't under the influence or anything like that. The wildest Thanksgiving that I can remember is when I was at my dad's, and we were all starving, right? And you know what we did that day? We watched all of the Lord of the Rings trilogy.
Oh my gosh.
What?
Oh yeah, bro! I finished Pokemon Emerald by the time I got my food. It was crazy. Pro tip to everybody: don't watch the whole Lord of the Rings trilogy as part of celebrating Thanksgiving. You know why? Because it's like 9 hours long, and you don't want to do that. It's great, awesome movies, phenomenal movies. Actually, some might say, but man. That was fun because at points we'd be cheering. My sister was like, yeah, like she'd be like cheering when they had the Two Towers fight, and they'd be like whatever. I forgot where the places are called right now. They're like, yeah, like everyone like really got into it for the second one. That's when people got, because the first one you're like, all right, here we go, guys, we're excited. Then you're at the end of the first one, you're like, wow, I forgot how long this is. Was this a good idea? Then you finish the first one and you're like, well, we might as well continue. You know what I mean? Then you get to the second one, you're like, all right. We just want to get to when it really picks up. Then you get really excited. You have the big battle that takes place on your end. And then all of 3, you're just dead. Everybody's just like, all right. Yeah. All right. Hey. And then that's like the end of it. And it's just everyone's drained. And then you hear someone say food. And everyone runs to the kitchen like
savages.
Like savages. You know what I mean?
For me, like, what's your go-to Thanksgiving dish?
Thanksgiving dish. Now yes. Thank you, Trevor. Perfect transition.
Yeah.
I was just about to talk about food because I have some takes when it comes to Thanksgiving. First of all, turkey's whack.
What?
Just start out with that. It's good, solid, but I really don't think. Here's my thing with turkey. I think if it was like traditionally, like if it was socially acceptable, and someone was like, "You guys just want to have like a bagel instead," I really think like 85% of people would be like, "Yeah, sure, why not?"
But it just is Thanksgiving.
It is.
And Christmas too.
It is a little bit. I
I
actually don't get from when I celebrate with my mom. She doesn't make turkey. She makes like a pernil, which is this chicken. It's man. Let me tell you, the Hispanics, man, we out here, man. We know how to make some cool dishes every now and then. And with the food, you know, is there any food that you guys think is overrated, underrated? Like, what do you guys think? Because I think the turkey,
I think
white turkey meat, I think is just.
I think for me,
I don't know, man.
Cranberries.
Cranberries, it's I can't decide where I am on cranberry sauce.
Because for me it's just like it's weird because it's a fruit, but it's not exactly something that I would like think about like
it's like
I've never been a sweet and savory guy.
Yeah,
either.
It's like almost wants to become Jello, but it's not quite Jello.
It's just like you take it out of the can, it's just like just
I like that sound effect.
I broke Jack.
Yeah, he broke Jack.
Sorry, guys.
I know my sister actually.
His head.
No,
he takes his head, he goes,
I missed it. The monitor was blocking it.
It was just like.
And what's funny is my sister actually has this like shark vase thing where she puts the cranberry in to make like it's like blood. You know what I mean? It looks like it looks really sick. Actually, it's awesome. But yeah, cranberry. I don't know where I am on it. I can't decide.
Like for me, I like mashed potatoes.
Of course.
I kind of like stuffing.
Oh, I love stuffing. Stuffing is my favorite part.
But I like chicken. I like the turkey. My mom actually makes ham. My mom actually makes ham with the turkey, which is actually a lot.
Yeah.
Which
nice.
actually
I've heard some people do
which
that.
actually balances out the turkey because the turkey is can be a little bit dry. But the gravy makes it amazing.
What about you, Jack? Do you have any Thanksgiving food
things.
takes? All
I
right,
have
two
two
things.
things.
2 things.
I have a turkey story.
Great.
Before I tell the turkey story, I just want to say there's only one food I care about, and it's probably one of my favorite foods of all time: peanut butter pie.
Peanut butter what?
Pie?
It's a Barteck family staple. We get it.
Man, I gotta come to your house. What is this?
I gotta come to your house
I'll see.
because
I might be able to pull some strings. Mom,
Yo,
if
you're
you're
wild.
listening, I
wild.
might be able to sneak one in here to the WMSC studios.
Oh,
I'll
man.
try my
The
best.
peanut butter, because I love peanut butter and I love pie.
It's
I
actually
don't-
hard to explain how good it is.
I don't like pie because for me it's just weird.
What?
It transcends.
You don't like pie?
It transcends pie.
Does it
Okay.
transcend life?
It's
Because that's what
yeah,
it sounded.
It's,
Is it the life
it's
equation?
actually so good. I could probably eat it every meal the rest of my life and never get tired of it. But that's
scary.
my
That's
Thanksgiving
scary.
food.
I'm trying to
I
think,
look
what's
forward
mine?
to Thanksgiving
I
just for
think
that.
for my
We have good desserts at mine. We do
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
We have flan, which my mom makes, rice pudding, bread pudding, and both my mom and my stepmom make a pretty good carrot cake. That's what we're known for.
My mom gets these cannoli dip.
Interesting.
Like cannoli.
All right, interesting.
Like the cannolis from.
Cannolis are solid. I like cannolis. They're pretty good.
And then what else? The thing that I personally like is just having gravy on turkey. Because for me, gravy
I'm not
is like
wild about gravy.
No,
actually.
I love gravy, but I also love taking the meat juice from the turkey and just pouring it over the turkey because it's so much better than the gravy.
That's amazing. I'm distracted by the peanut butter pie. Like I
know.
I didn't think that existed.
Wow.
I didn't
it
think
gives me goosebumps.
like for
Not
me
even gonna lie.
for me like my sister likes pumpkin pie.
I
My
love
sister likes
pumpkin pie,
pumpkin pie.
Love it.
I don't like pumpkin pie.
What are the best pies?
Peanut butter.
Excluding yours though, to be fair.
I like. Have you ever had chocolate pudding pie?
Frankie Perez is here.
Frankie.
What does he want?
Frankie, we shouted you out before.
Yeah, we did.
Shout out.
We did.
Shout out.
Frankie
for being
Perez
Frankie.
joining us.
Hello. This is Frankie Perez here on 90.3 WMSC Ever Montclair.
Nice try. You're like 7 minutes late, but good try. Is that what you're
Frankie,
trying
you
to
missed
do?
it this morning.
What are you guys
Were
talking
you,
about?
were you looking for revenge from the morning buzz?
I was looking for Revenge of the Morning Buzz. But
The
I
thing
guess
about
it didn't
revenge
get
is you have to actually make sure it's planned correctly because it's 5:07.
I didn't plan it at all.
Oh.
But I think for me, it's pumpkin and pecan are close. I think pumpkin I can have for any meal at any time, no matter what day or season it is. I think pecan is awesome, but if you have too much, you're like, whoa.
I like
I
chocolate.
might be seeing double. I feel like I can run 3 miles, and then you just did run 3 miles. It's too much sugar sometimes.
So there's an issue here. Sorry, go on, Trevor.
I like anything that's chocolate.
Chocolate.
So,
Have you ever had chocolate pudding pie?
no, I think
Oh
I
my
would
gosh.
like that.
It's just chocolate pudding,
Yeah.
and then you put it in a graham cracker
Jeez.
crust.
Oh man. Oh, my diabetes. No,
Desserts,
all right. No, so
desserts are the
diabetes.
thing. If you didn't get
Diabetes.
that.
there's a small issue that I have here, right? I love homemade pies, and I love the whole shtick about, getting together with your mama or your dad, and you're putting stuff in a pie crust and you put it in the oven. But why did I go into the
It's just
accent?
the
I
accent.
want to know
is
where
Is
this
this
is
getting
going.
work? Oh
Go
no, I
for it,
can't
go
do it.
for
Anyway,
it.
so have you guys ever had Burger King's? What
Hold
is
on,
it? What is
okay.
it? Oreo pie. They have like a
Yes,
Hershey
yes,
pie or an
I have.
Oreo pie or something.
No,
like that.
Underrated.
I
Very
haven't.
underrated.
I-
Quite
Their
literally
pies
one of
are
the
pretty solid, man.
one of the greatest things I've ever put into my mouth my entire life is the Hershey's pie from
Burger King.
Burger King. It's real good.
Mom, if you're listening, you know what to do.
What are you expecting her to do?
She's gonna go get one for
Oh,
me
get you
right
one.
now.
Okay, cool.
Why'd you gotta make it like that, bro?
Javier.
No, I just want to know, like,
What?
like murder the Burger
Creeping
King.
me out.
to give you context, Frankie, we were talking about our favorite Thanksgiving.
Pies, yeah, absolutely.
Mother.
Thanksgiving dishes.
Oh, Thanksgiving dishes in
We're
general.
just talking about like overrated or underrated and stuff.
Yeah.
Now, do you have any takes? Because I came out swinging.
You came out swinging.
I think
turkey's
I think
overrated.
white turkey meat.
It's
is
like
just kinda
saying
whack.
Michael Jordan
White
is
turkey
eh.
meat's way whack.
That's not. It's
What?
not-
Turkey
maybe
is turkey is Thanksgiving.
Nah, turkey's like the Larry Bird.
Look, listen. Hey.
Hey.
So I
Hey
get
now.
where Jack's coming from, because the whole thing about Thanksgiving's the whole turkey and the pilgrims
We
and
literally
the this
have a
and the
feature
that.
about it.
That's
We do.
fair. That's fair. But turkey ain't taste as good as the other things on your dinner table. I love honey ham. Honey ham is the best meat on Thanksgiving, hands down.
I agree with you on that, because ham goes well with the turkey, because the turkey is just so
Dry.
can be so dry.
There you
Yeah.
go.
And the ham just complements it so well. Like, it's just
Absolutely.
I just think that the problem with turkey is there's too many variables too with making it. There's too many ways it can go wrong, and the product. You know what I mean? What is good with you?
like a National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, where it's just
Exactly.
like
Deep-fried turkey.
where they just open the turkey and it's just like
Right.
super gross.
There's just too many variables. Like you can mess it up so many different ways, and it's not like you're making this dish that everybody's like, "Whoa, can't wait for that specifically."
Yeah.
The turkey, man.
See-
does that do anything for you?
I gotta
You know?
tell you
for
this story.
for me.
Oh, I'm excited because you just started laughing before.
That was the perfect lead-in. So you said about how there's so many variables about how a turkey can go wrong.
Correct.
Oh no.
You usually figure at least when you get it, it'll be good. Like at least
Right.
when you like purchase it, the turkey is solid.
Butterball. Yeah.
So the turkey story that I alluded to before. So we have this butcher that we get the turkey from.
Oh, you get a real
Yeah,
turkey.
yeah,
No
we get-
frozen
we- I
turkey.
like it.
No, we do.
No,
it.
no frozen turkey in the Barteck household.
No frozen turkey
Woo!
in the microwave. Yeah, don't
What a
laugh
meme.
at that.
What
Don't
a,
laugh at
what a
that.
bad meme that
Thank you.
was.
So, we get this turkey, and you know how when you get a turkey, you get the giblets out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I do know.
It's
So-
such a gross thing to say.
Yeah, I don't enjoy that word. but yeah, so every year before we got this butcher in town, we would order it without the giblets. We get it, we cook it, whatever. So then we get this new butcher in town, and he's the man. Great, he has the best selection of meats. He is like sponsors our family barbecues. Really, really great butcher. So for Thanksgiving, we order the turkey, and we ask him to take the giblets out. And I guess the butcher misunderstood this. Oh, no. Because then we get the turkey, and we go to take it out on Thanksgiving, and there's no bones in it.
What?
It's just a limp turkey.
Makes me so uncomfortable.
There's
It's
no
just
bones
like-
in it. All the bones are gone.
Was it like
But-
It was like somebody deflated a turkey.
Were the
Whoa.
giblet?
Oh, yeah.
Were the giblets still
He's getting
intact?
excited.
Yeah, Javier, you're excited about limp turkeys? What's going on?
limp
man?
turkees like
I was
limp
it's
biscuit.
like
that
I was
one
down
band.
in the chair because look at speaking of limp, you see the microphone, look at the straps, and like I was like down, and I think I just jumped up and made the
I
thing go
fixed-
flying.
So
I fixed the microphone this morning.
So
Okay.
yeah, we got this turkey, and it was just a limp turkey. Like imagine just like
That's so gross.
Imagine just like a wet sock, just like hang. It's the best way.
Who
I
got
can
the
describe
drumstick?
it.
Who got the drumstick, Jack? Who got it?
So we were all disappointed at this. we were looking at this turkey like, whoa, what are we gonna do?
Whoa.
It's looking like it's gonna be like a pizza Thanksgiving, and it turns out we just gave this thing a shot. We threw it in the oven. And we let it rip,
Yeah.
and it turned out to be actually really good.
Okay.
So
I figured it would be, right? It
shout
also
out
takes a lot.
boneless turkeys.
Shout out. Remember the boneless meme? Remember when the boneless meme was a thing?
Boneless turkey.
Boneless turkey, boneless pizza. Hello. No, I like that idea. You got a good butcher. That was last year, you said?
Yeah. It was 3 years ago.
So have you done boneless turkey since?
I believe the year after we did a boneless turkey.
Really? So it stuck around.
It stuck around.
That's
It
dope.
was a happy accident.
I personally like the Sister Schubert rolls.
No, what's that?
Sister Schubert are these frozen dinner rolls
Got it.
that are like at ShopRite or something like
Okay,
that.
cool.
Oh my
Eh,
gosh.
You know Sister Schubert?
Rolls. I know the only
Rolls.
rolls I know are the ones that come in like that it's like a
like
well I can't
pepper-
think
He's
of
literally
anything.
reaching for it. Like his
the-
arms
the-
are like
the
extended
Pepperidge-
out in front of him, and he's
it's,
like, I
the
know what this
Pepperidge-
is, but I
the
don't have
Pepperidge
it right now.
Farm
I don't have it.
Who's the
The only rolls I know.
Pillsbury Doughboy?
Oh,
You know the Pillsbury Doughboy?
croissants?
No,
Biscuits?
no.
They make
They have rolls?
they make
Yeah.
rolls,
Huh.
and they're like peelable rolls.
All right.
That you
okay.
just
Those,
like,
those are
Yeah,
so
man.
good.
those
The
are
only
those
the only
are
rolls
okay.
I know are the ones that
Those
people
are
be
okay.
hating. You know what I'm saying?
Just like
What?
if you find
Nothing.
Sister
Terrible
Schubert roll,
joke. You
if
see
you
me
fi-
there rolling, they hate it, you know?
Oh my gosh.
The only rolls I got are the ones
On
that make
that
me so
note.
make me fat. I got fatty rolls. That's what I got. I like King's Hawaiian. King's Hawaiian rolls are pretty cool too.
Oh my gosh.
But that's just
yes.
because I'm Spanish.
Mm,
King's
Oh, man.
Hawaiian rolls. Those are good.
for sure.
Limp
But
turkey.
you know what? Let's take a quick break, guys, because
We're
I'm
gonna take a
enjoying
quick
this
break?
conversation a lot.
Yeah.
We're going to take a quick break here on the Digital Dash. The Digital Dash, where we're talking about food the whole time. This is great. This is an iconic episode.
Flaky
Frankie just
layers.
showed up. This is great.
Lanky layers.
Flaky layers. Look at that.
Flaky layer biscuits.
All right, guys, stay tuned. You're listening to 90.3 WSC, Upper Montclair. And we're back here, everybody, on 90.3 WMSC Upper Montclair. You're listening to the Digital Dash. And boy, oh boy, we got a stacked house today. We got Frankie Perez. We got Trevor Gioia.
Hello.
And we got Jack Barteck.
Yeehaw.
Yee.
Shout out Chef Pete.
Shout out Chef Pete,
Shout
man.
out.
Wherever you are. You know what? No matter what time of day it is, I'm always asking that same
Trevor
question.
saw him.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, Trevor did see him.
Yeah.
Apparently.
That's it.
That's
I
it.
did see
I
him.
saw him.
Period.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's like how you start off a scary story. Like, you're like, yo, you heard of this guy? I saw him once. That's it. Then you leave the room.
I
You put
saw
the
the
cloak over your head, you know what I'm saying? And you just hide. But yeah, here's my take about Thanksgiving food. The take to end all takes.
Yes.
Thanksgiving.
The best Thanksgiving.
Hashtag
Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving.
All right. I can
Thanksgiving.
get on board for
Hashtag
that.
Thanksgiving.
We've been arguing. Not even arguing. We've been lightly debating, I guess I could say. What is the best Thanksgiving food? What are some of the worst? And here's the answer, right? The answer is very
For
simple.
best or worst?
The best. This is very simple. You know what the best is? It's when you take everything and
Oh,
you
don't
smash
say
it together
No.
on your plate.
No.
And you have this beautiful amalgamation of everything, of every culture. You got the turkey, you got the cranberry sauce, mashed potato. You squish it all together, and you just have this blob of food.
Okay,
It's like
I
two
just
plates
like to,
big.
I just like
You know
to,
what I mean?
for whoever
And
is
it's
not
huge.
for all our listeners who are not in the studio right now.
That's
the
Thanksgiving.
faces of disgust on the other side of the board right
yeah,
now.
it's great.
Say it all.
That's Thanksgiving right there. It's not about the individuals. It's about having a plate of everything. You know what I mean?
See,
and just it almost looks
everything?
disgusting.
Everything. You
Yeah,
like
everything.
steamed corn, Javier?
Yeah,
Yeah.
put it on there.
Let's
Let's go.
You like that weird macaroni salad your aunt makes
Put
with
it on.
the apples and stuff in
Put it on. Let's go.
Yeah, put it in.
Yeah, put it in.
Okay.
Let's go.
All right, listen. All right, I come from a Spanish household, as do you,
I do.
and we have a big pot of congri, like the black moro, like the rice,
Of course.
And then we got the mashed potatoes. And
Of
if
course.
that stuff mixes in the middle on my plate, and I look at it and I go, that's not okay, but I'll eat it anyway. Because if you don't know who I am, I'm Frankie Perez and I'm a tank, right? I'll eat it, but I won't like it. Does that make sense? You can't mash things together like that. That is absolute anarchy. Thanksgiving is about peace and the indigenous people of this land moving away so that the white man can stay.
What are you, Fox
Very
News now?
lawfully. very.
It's not about mishing things together. Oh, diversity's bad. What are you? All right. Come on.
No,
Let's go, Tucker Carlson. Let's go.
I can't even keep a straight face. I'm so upset with myself right now. But like, all right, come on. That's absolute malarkey, Javier, to think
It's
that
not
you can
because
mix
I'm pretty
everything
sure
together.
everyone who's listening agrees with me, and they agreed with me for the most part.
Have
There
you
was
ever-
3 of us against one of you.
And it wasn't even just disagreeing. It was straight up mouth agape.
No, this is how
Like-
Thanksgiving rolls, man. You want to get everything together. That's what's good. That's what makes the turkey great. That's what makes anything that you might not like great. You want to have this, like I said, an amalgamation of everything. You got the corn, you got the vegetables, you got the turkey, you got the cranberry sauce. Heck, throw a slab of pie in there. You know what? That's the other thing.
No,
All right, actually, don't do that. Don't do that.
That's
You
real
gotta-
nasty.
no.
That's real nasty.
I wouldn't do that though.
No.
I would put it on the side to have it ready.
Look,
you know what I'm saying? That's what I
Javier,
would do.
Javier,
But
Javier,
and also
Alright.
that's the thing. That's Thanksgiving, man. Appreciate food of all kinds and all cultures.
Yes, of
and you
course.
Know, you're gonna let me finish, bud?
Go on.
All right. And that's what it's all about, folks. And I'm trying to hang on because I forgot the last point I was gonna make. So let me keep
Keep rolling.
filibustering and spending time and whatnot. And that's why I really think that Thanksgiving is all about. And then by the end, you're just like, wow, what did I even eat? You know what I mean? All you know is you had a lot of good food. That's what's important. Not this nonsense about, oh no, I don't do this. You can't mix things together or whatever rant you went in before. That was crazy. I was not expecting that from you.
Have you ever seen that thing on Twitter? It's like
Don't say it. Don't say it. Don't say it.
Javier
Don't say it.
talking about Thanksgiving food. Don't say it. Don't say it. Don't say it.
don't
Don't
say
say
it,
it.
don't-
Mix it all together.
Frankie trying to make an obvious point. Don't say it. 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 The Native Americans left willfully.
Whoa! The Trail of Tears of the Line.
You're off.
They didn't. I'm like that was.
Yo,
This is for the sake of
Yo.
comedy. If
What is
things.
happening?
whoa.
Whoa. Whoa.
I thought I was the hot take artist. What is wrong with you?
That is
Family
that is a
friendly,
scalding
fam-
hot
I'm
take.
the worst person ever. I did not mean that
That is a
whatsoever.
Family
You
friendly.
understand
people,
discourse
geez.
on radio makes radio good. That's
Yeah,
the one
but
thing I will take away from this
Discourse
school.
about things that make sense. What were you doing? That was
That's a
incredible.
Bill Maher just saying something to get a rye.
I'm like, yeah,
That's
right?
what I'm doing.
We were just talking about.
It gets
oh my
the people
gosh.
going.
Oh my gosh, that was incredible.
Wow, Javier, it was a delayed reaction too.
Yeah,
You
I didn't know what to
even-
do.
Like
You
at
went,
first,
do
you're
I
like,
turn
oh.
off his microphone?
You were going so loud. You're just going for it,
Oh,
man.
man, I'm going for it. Who's looking in through the door? Are they like, did he really just say that?
Yeah, right.
They're
They're
about
like,
to
yo,
kick us out.
I don't mean that, I
hey,
promise.
you getting kicked out, bro. It was my show. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, man.
I had nothing
The
to
morning
do with
bus
that.
is
Yeah,
mine.
The morning bus is mine. But yeah, guys, those are our thoughts on Thanksgiving and food
And
Oh,
Frankie's
and other
thoughts
things.
on the
And
Native
Frankie's thoughts
Americans.
on Thanksgiving.
That was not Frankie's thoughts. Those Frankie's inner demons coming out saying, I
Yeah,
need
they
to
were.
create discourse.
Yeah, but like, no, I'm not gonna allow it. Absolutely, that was oof, wow.
Did I set this reel in for a second?
Frankie, you're voted off the island.
You voted off the island.
I wouldn't make it in Survivor, would I?
Probably not,
Oh,
especially
man.
after you say that.
That's
That's
fair.
like that person who's just like, we were talking about the crazy uncle.
That's me.
He was the crazy uncle
That's
just now.
me. I'm
He
the crazy
was
uncle.
grandpa.
He
at
was the crazy
Thanksgiving
grandpa who's
dinner.
95 years old, and he's
Okay.
like, all this Me Too stuff.
Oh,
Back in my day, you
No.
know, you get some of those
Way
people.
Far off
no!
road here,
I
right?
know.
I'm
Shout-
playing
alright,
a
but-
character.
Of course, I'm joking. too.
Shout out diversity.
Shout out diversity. Shout out all
Absolutely.
foods.
Shout out
and-
inclusion.
Absolutely. Shout out inclusion. I love the point that
Jack
you brought
trying
up
to save
before.
our careers right now.
I love the
Hashtag
point that
play
you brought up before,
rotations.
having all the different cultures meeting together with food.
Mm-hmm.
I like that point because I do that. Like do. So
Oh my god.
So my family does that all the time.
He really did that.
Never bring me on the digital dash ever again. Javier.
Trust me, I won't.
So I appreciate
round out your point here.
I appreciate that tenfold. Also, we already missed the time for me to talk about this, but I'm going to. You talked about mashing food together. Now talk about the KFC menu with me for a second. Think about this, right? You understand how they have like the 2-piece and the 3-piece, and you can get a side of mashed potatoes and everything's separate. Do you know
There's
the
a
famous
reason for that.
what?
There's
a reason for that. You know the famous bowl that they have on the menu where they put all of it together? Which one do you think is more popular, Javier? Which one do you think?
No idea.
It's definitely not the famous bowl. I don't have any facts to back that up. I'm just saying.
This guy.
I'm a
fact
journalism
check. I'll
major.
fact
I'm very disappointed in myself.
Sorry, I'm doing something right now.
That's fair. That's fair.
cool.
Are you
No,
agreeing
good
with
for
me
you.
as a
Good for
person?
you. But you know what?
Maybe.
I think I need to get
Maybe.
us on break. Let me do that. So that was our discussion on Thanksgiving and food and other things that came from Frankie Perez's mouth.
I love the indigenous people. I promise.
But yeah, we're gonna take a little bit of break, guys, and then we're gonna talk Thanksgiving football and maybe some other Game 12 pick or Week 12 picks. Jack and me are definitely gonna get into that, so it'll be real fun. Stay tuned, guys. You're listening to 90.3 WMSC Upper Montclair.
Man, I love Tiger Woods.
And we're back, everybody, here on 90.3 WMSC Upper Montclair. We're still back. We didn't get canceled.
No.
I'm joined by Trevor Gioia and Jack Barteck.
Yeah.
Hey, yeah.
And thankfully
kicked
not Frankie
Frankie out.
Perez. We kicked Frankie out after some questionable, highly questionable, shout out, whatever that dude's name on ESPN is, to his show.
Oh, Dan Lebitard?
Yeah, Dan Lebitard. Shout out Dan Lebitard. And
Oh, is that the one with Pop?
yeah,
I said I'm going to do that with my dad one day.
I don't even like that show. Although I do like
No, I
just
just
seeing
think
on
it's
Twitter
funny.
the people who get got.
Yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah.
Mina Kimes is always tweeting about how she got or whatever. She's taping her hands there. She doesn't do it. I'm like, this is dumb. I have no idea what this show does, but it's
It's
funny.
highly questionable.
Yeah, exactly. Speaking of highly questionable, we're gonna make some highly questionable picks. We're talking Thanksgiving. We're talking
Thanksgiving.
we're talking Thanksgiving Day football picks, and for the rest of the week if we have time. Honestly, we could do that too. So the first game, Jack, starting at 12:30 on Thanksgiving Day, because that's one of the staples of Thanksgiving, as we talked about earlier, among many other things with Thanksgiving. Chicago Bears taking on the Detroit Lions. Bears
Should be
are
an
7-3,
interesting one.
and the Lions are 4-6. Should be an interesting one to a degree. It feels like a trap game.
Yeah,
It feels
totally.
like Bears just killed the Vikings and Lions.
Coming
like
off a
everyone's like,
great
oh,
win.
whatever. I don't know. This has the potential to just be one of those whack games.
100%. And
I
I
mean,
feel
every
like
Thanksgiving
the
game.
Lions are like they could all. You never know what you're gonna get with them on Thanksgiving
Mhm.
because I've seen them play some great games on Thanksgiving.
Absolutely. And I'm really tired of lifting this mic, but I shall keep it going. I think that with the Lions, I really think that they're due for finally having the straight up like tank season. But they're 4-6, so they're not quite doing the oh my gosh, we're terrible season. Defense isn't really there, but they somehow beat the Panthers. R.I.P. Panthers bandwagon, circa November 19th, 2018. Like
that was
seriously,
a tough loss.
they lost. First they lose. They get blown out by Pitt in what was supposed to be the best Thursday night game we'd have in a while, and it really wasn't, unless you had every Steelers fantasy player, honestly. And then they get beat by the Lions.
Ron
So
Rivera,
yeah,
WID, bro.
yeah, bro.
Come on, kick the extra point, man.
Yeah, man.
This isn't Madden.
I don't know what. Yeah, this
You
is.
can't like save and quit and then run it back. Like I don't know what he was
I don't know.
thinking there.
I was like, just do the extra point. You can beat these guys.
Yeah, exactly.
Come on, man.
But
Come on, Ron. What were you
I
thinking?
gotta go with the Bears in this one.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna take the Bears, but I don't feel great about it for some reason.
I can
I don't know if I
totally
trust
see the
Trubisky.
Lions winning. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Matt Nagy's doing good stuff there in Chicago, and
Mm-hmm.
Khalil Mack. We said
Yeah.
it on the Morning Buzz. He's just a freak.
He really is a freak. Every single week we got to bring that up. Shout
I-
out John Gruden.
I wish I could show audio the video I saw on Twitter of him pushing over that lineman
Show it
because
through
was just
audio, yeah.
freakish how
was,
how
it
he
was.
did that.
It's like it's rare. I feel like that we see a player get added that really completed a team and
Yeah.
makes everything else
I
work.
think without Khalil Mack, the
Yeah.
Bears are under 500,
yeah, for sure.
and they're
like,
at 7-3 right now.
it's crazy because usually one guy can't make a difference, but like he complements their game plan and everything. Because I
Mhm.
guess I guess everyone else is getting better because of him. It's rare that it's like J.J. Watt-esque from a few years ago.
He was
where, like,
the piece.
He was the piece where like it completes that defense, and without him, not that on any other team necessarily he makes that big of a difference, but with them it's just like he completes them.
You're 100% right.
See, and then the next game, and obviously you got it in the most Thanksgiving thing ever. We're having the Washington Redskins take on the Dallas Cowboys. If you catch my drift of what I'm talking about, shout out the NFL.
Shout out to Frankie Perez.
Yeah, shout out to Frankie Perez. The Redskins somehow 6-4, and the Cowboys 5-5. Dallas is favored apparently by 8.5 points, which I know why, because of the quarterback thing with Alex Smith.
I was just gonna say,
are we sure that them losing Alex Smith? I'm not trying to be mean about it. Them losing Alex Smith of the year makes them completely worth like that much worse.
You know what scares
Alex
me?
Smith was not playing well.
You know what scares me?
Huh?
Colt McCoy.
Oh man,
Is Colt McCoy an NFL quarterback?
Are any of the guys? They just signed Mark Sanchez.
Mark Sanchez. Come on, guy. Do better.
Do better.
Do better.
I think there's a guy out there who's been to a Super Bowl before that they might be able to pick up. I don't know, man. It's just an idea.
For me, the Dallas.
Not that he's great. I'm just saying if we're going to start hiring Brandon Whedon and Colt McCoy and
Nate Peterman.
Nate Peterman's done. I feel bad for that guy. Mark Sanchez. I just maybe take the guy who was a throw from being to a second Super Bowl. I'm no GM though. I know you guys definitely 100% sure it's football reasons, but I don't want to tell you how to do your job. Who do you think? Who you got in this one, Jack?
I got to take the Cowboys. They won 2 straight.
Mm-hmm.
The Redskins coming off that brutal loss against the Texans and the bigger loss of Alex Smith.
Mm-hmm.
And, I mean, Ezekiel Elliott's been playing awesome the last couple games. I got to go with the Cowboys in this one.
I feel that. I feel like their whole offense is Peterson, and he's been great, and he's really been defying the odds and the science essentially, and beating Father Time, having a great year.
Yeah,
but
no
it's
doubt.
not like he's going to be able to carry an offense when they know you're running the ball a lot. You don't really have any wideouts. You got Jordan Reed, I guess.
Yeah, especially now
it.
without Alex Smith.
Although part of me slightly feels okay, but I don't know why I'm confident if Sanchez starts. Talk me out of it, Jack. Talk me out of this.
How much time do you have?
Yeah. I don't know, man.
I can tell you as a Jet fan.
Sanchez butt fumble part 2?
Don't feel confident in Sanchez.
I know.
I was at the butt fumble game.
Ooh, I was watching with my family, and the one guy just started laughing. He's a Giants fan. He was like, "Oh, this is great."
On a side note, do you watch baseball?
Yeah.
Do you remember when the Mets played the Yankees? I think it was 2008. Luis Castillo dropped the pop-up.
Yes, I do. Watching it live with my dad.
So in my life, I've been to the Luis Castillo pop-up game and the Mark Sanchez butt fumble game. So maybe I should just stop going to my team's games. It's the conclusion I've come to.
Man, I remember watching that because me and my dad were both like, my dad loved A-Rod for the most part. Whoa, broski.
He's fired up. He's a big Luis Castillo fan.
He's a big Luis Castillo
He doesn't
fan.
like to talk about it.
And we're watching it live, and A-Rod, he smashes the bat. And then I just remember Michael K's voice just going, "He dropped the ball! He dropped the ball!" My dad and me jump into the air. My dad's like, "Oh!" Like we were losing it. Us two at like 9, 10 o'clock at night. We're just losing it.
And was it the Mets game?
Yeah, this is the Mets game when you see it. And then he like, you know what I mean? Like you can tell.
The most Yankee thing of all time, as me, my dad, and my sister were walking out of the stadium. I was 8. My sister was 16. We have our Mets clothes on. We're getting heckled by the Yankee fans. Well, like as if we didn't have to deal with that. Like, thank you for reminding me.
Classic Yankee fans, stand-up people, of course. All of us are just as good as me, everybody.
I can attest to that.
Yeah, for sure. They can be a mess.
I can attest to that.
But yeah, I just thought that was funny. I had to digress on that.
I don't know what's going on in football, so.
Yeah, I feel you, man. Who does? And we don't know what's going on in football either,
You
to be
might
honest.
not know football, but I'm sure that you know that a play called the butt fumble.
I know the butt fumble.
Not a good thing.
The butt fumble was the most hilarious thing I've ever seen in my life. And it made fireman Ed leave the Jets.
Yeah. Unbelievable. It was an unbelievable thing.
But the Giants.
I kind of want to take Sanchez if they start this. You know why? Here's why. Because we're betting on the Dallas Cowboys. Everyone's saying, "Oh, maybe the Cowboys are coming back a little bit." if they were playing almost any other team, I would feel super confident in the other team. I just think that the Cowboys, this feels right, America's team, for them to like blow it against Mark Sanchez or Colt McCoy or whatever.
I just really don't want the Dallas Cowboys.
No, you never want the Cowboys to win.
Can
If
I
you're
give
like,
you a hot
if you
take?
like sports and life and good things, you don't want the Cowboys to win.
You want Jerry Jones, the evil emperor.
Yeah.
to
Oh,
win.
look at me.
I'm
It's okay.
I'm
to-
still
I'm not gonna get into this.
I'm still like alive, and I'm like, yeah.
Let's sign Greg Hardy. Anyway,
Can I give you a hot take really quick?
go for it. All
And-
hot takes today.
I hate to admit this because I'm a Jet fan.
Mm-hmm.
I see a realistic possibility that the Giants could win the NFC East. And I'm saying that with a dead straight face. That is so
They have such
sad.
It's a terrible division.
It's
Maybe
like,
they run the
it's
table.
like
I don't
nobody
know.
wants to win it. They're all
Yeah.
trying to give it away.
Oh my
They
gosh.
are really.
But yeah,
Oh my
that's going to be
gosh.
a really bad.
Oh.
The
Oh,
fact
it-
that
that's gonna be a
Washington can
good
win
bad
this is
race.
crazy.
It's
Yeah,
going to be a good bad.
The
race.
good bad race. I said for movies, it's the good bad division.
It's like for me, like I would rather watch paint dry than NFC
Yeah, I feel you.
East championship against
Especially with Washington.
against Washington and the Giants.
You-
I'm-
The
you
Colt
talk
McCoy led
yourself- I know, right?
Washington
I'm like
Redskins.
thinking about. I'm like, my dad's just gonna yell at the screen 90% of the time.
You know what?
It'll
That's
be
it,
like-
Jack. I'm going for it. If Mark Sanchez starts, I got the Redskins win the game. Let's go, baby.
Okay.
Mark Sanchez.
Wait,
the Sanchez is
you,
back.
Are you talking like taking the spread, or you're taking them?
No, I'm
outright?
taking them to win the game.
Wow,
That's
a
No.
hot take.
No, no.
We
even
really
though-
think you
need
could
to
have-
get that
no,
sound. Can we
no,
get that
it's
sound
not-
effect?
no,
We do need to
no,
get it.
No, for me, I don't want. Even though I don't want Dallas to win, I think they're gonna win.
I
Just
hope they
like
don't.
barely,
I'm going
Just-
Cowboys.
just barely.
We gotta keep track of this.
I got Chicago, and then you have Dallas. And
I
then
got Chicago
I
and
have the
Dallas.
Redskins. Yeah, well, you
Write
can
this
make fun
down,
of me next
Trevor.
week. Yeah, write it down.
Write this
Trevor.
down, Trevor. I trust you.
Don't trust me.
I
Yeah, you're
don't,
not-
I don't
just
trust
put it down on your
Javier
phone.
with the picks.
Put it down on your phone.
I don't
Yeah.
trust
Y'all,
Javier
like,
with the
mix 'em
picks.
up?
Yeah.
What are you talking about? I picked the Cowboys.
The Cowboys will win, and he'll be like, "No, I have the Cowboys. You
Yeah.
said the Redskins."
Yeah, you said you were the one. You were the
Yeah,
Jet
yeah.
fan. Remember
We were
Mark
talking about Mark
Sanchez?
Sanchez.
Yeah.
I'm
Oh,
putting
man.
down all the picks.
All right, go for it. I'll check with you after we're done, but and then
No,
the last for the
I'm
Thanksgiving
not. I'm not
games.
letting you delete any of my.
I know. I just want to like go over it and just make sure that it's all right. You know. The last Thanksgiving game though, Atlanta and New Orleans. Atlanta's 4-6, and New Orleans 9-1.
Oh,
This one, in theory, sounds fun. I don't know if it's gonna be fun though.
It's gonna be like such a boring slog because the Atlanta Falcons are just like walking like dead.
They really are though.
Did you
Because-
watch the
Because
Saints versus the Eagles this week?
No.
because
Okay, well, if you didn't, just tune in on Thursday at 8:20, and you'll see the same thing happen again. So yeah, I'll take the Saints by 40.
I feel like football fans want this to be like, you know what I mean? We're all like, hey, it could be a fun shootout. I just don't. I think
No,
that
I
think
think-
Atlanta doesn't score on the first drive, and then all of a sudden the Saints are up by 21 for some reason.
since the Atlanta Falcons lost to the Cleveland Browns,
Yeah.
I just think they're just
Yeah.
so like
It's funny because Atlanta, we talked about this. Their offense is literally, in statistically, in a lot of ways, has been better than the year that they went to the Super Bowl. Matt Ryan has had like an MVP form a lot of games this year. It's weird that they're not good. I guess their defense is atrocious, some bad luck in there, just wrong
tough
timing.
schedule.
Tough schedule, like
The NFL always does that.
yeah, they
They'll
really
do.
do.
what's your pick, Jack?
Okay, so I had the Cowboys. I had who else? Who did I have? Oh, the Bears, the Cowboys, and the Saints. And you know what? The Saints given 13 points, take them, give them to the Falcons. I
Yeah.
don't care. It's gonna be a 30-point win.
I'm hoping this game
I
is good,
personally
though.
agree
I'm,
with
I'm
you.
picking Saints, but I hope that this is like I hope it's like 44-30 or something like that. You
the
know what I mean?
Saints
I
are
hope it
just
could be
so
fun.
good offensively.
I
know.
just think this is what's gonna happen. It's gonna be like the Atlanta Falcons are gonna be good the first half of the game, and they're all just gonna suddenly lose all energy and lose all hope.
Yeah, I think that what happens is, you know what? I actually think what's going to happen, they score first if they get the kickoff, of course.
Yeah.
And then I think that the Saints come right back, Atlanta stalls, and all of a sudden the Saints just keep going.
Atlanta will stall,
goodness.
and they'll be like stuck like at a wall, like the glitch.
Yeah.
Like
They're lag-
they're
Like a
just,
glitch, yeah.
Like they're just like
the
you
Saints'
know
last
like,
5
you know,
What are you doing?
like you know the glitch
He's,
of
he's
like-
doing the Flintstones car
Yeah.
run behind
Like-
the
Yeah,
desk
he
right
really
now.
is.
like you know the glitch of like a guy running into a wall.
Sometimes.
Like in video games, like where a guy runs into a wall.
That's the Falcons?
That's the Falcons.
That's fair. I think there's a better team that fit that description, but yeah.
In the Saints' last 5 games, they've scored, and this is going from October 21st up to recently. So they scored 24 points. It's decent, right? Then they scored 30, and wow, okay, it's a big game. And then 45.
Okay.
And that wasn't enough. Then they went and put 51. And then let's slow down. Only 48. Next one.
So Jack, if I'm not mistaken, what you're trying to tell me is that the Saints are good.
Yes.
Yeah.
Saints.
That's what you get.
Get good.
Stone cold fact analysis here on the Digital Dash. The Saints are good at football.
There you go.
The
Only the
Saints-
hottest of takes.
But yeah, guys, we're gonna take a little bit of break, and when we get back, we're gonna go through the rest of the games as much time as we can, or as fast as we can. I guess is the correct phrasing of that. So stay tuned, guys. Listen to the Digital Dash here on 90.3 WMSC, Upper Montclair.
Guess what?
And we're back, everybody, here on 90.3 WMSC Upper Montclair. You're listening to the Digital Dash, hosted by me, Javier Reyes, and I'm being joined by, of course, Mr. Jack Barteck
Heyo.
and Trevor Gioia.
Hey.
We're talking NFL, doing our game picks for the week. We just got through the Thanksgiving slate. We're going to try and go a little bit faster through the other games that will be on that Sunday. First one let's get into. Oh, my gosh. Let's go into, like, the poop fecta. If you listen to Bill Simmons, they get into this.
The tank bowl. The tank bowl.
The tank bowl. The toilet bowl. To throw some Friday Night Lights reference in there.
Yeah.
The Jacksonville Jaguars taking on the Buffalo Bills.
Oh my gosh. I want the Jacksonville Jaguars because I just think it's hilarious that the Buffalo Bills are just so meager.
Can we void this game? Can we, like, cancel it? Is
Can
that
we
possible?
Can we just call it Tank Bowl like 7 and then just call it quits?
This is
Oh my
not good.
gosh.
This is not good.
Is it
I don't like
so-
this game. I don't like it
I
at
It's
all.
think
like
Jacksonville wins. I think they got to get a win at some point.
Saxonville needs to get a win.
Yeah, Saxonville does need to.
Who's
get a win.
playing quarterback for the Bills?
I think Peter.
Is it Matt Barkley?
No,
Did
I
he
think
win-
I think
did
it's
he-
Nathan Peterman.
Is it Derek Anderson?
I think it's Matt
Do
Barkley.
we know?
I'm pretty sure it's Matt Barkley.
Oh no.
You know what?
Oh,
Give me the Bills.
Okay.
Give me the Bills.
Okay.
You can have them.
Jaguars lost 5 in a row. The Bills last game put up 41 on the Jets. I watched it. It was terrible and awful and pitiful.
Yeah.
Give me the Bills. I got a good feeling about them. LaShawn
Hey, go for
McCoy,
it, man.
Okay.
he found the fountain
Okay.
of youth in their
Fountain
last
of
game
youth,
against
indeed.
the Jets. So maybe they keep it up. This Jaguars team,
I'm
something's
taking
not right
Jacksonville.
there.
I'm taking
Something's
Jack.
not
I
right
think
there.
that they just got to save face at this point, and that their Ramsey will just stop Barkley or Boye, someone on that defense. Jeez.
Somebody please stop anybody.
Yeah, it's
Please
like
God, just stop.
yeah, they need to be stopped, man. Jacksonville. Remember when Ramsey, the fraud Jalen Ramsey, decided to be all like, "Hey, I'm gonna trash talk every single player in the league, but as soon as things get bad, I have nothing to say, man. I got nothing to say." I hate cornerbacks. I'm gonna say I hate corners, man. Like, stop.
Very
The
small
only
shelf
character,
life.
the only character type that they have is like super obnoxious and flamboyant and like trash talker, and then immediately after they get beat, they. It's like I remember Richard Sherman, just to plug my Chargers for a second. After they won the Super Bowl and they lost week 2 against the Chargers, and then like he like left the podium and didn't answer any questions, and I'm like, come on, dude. Like, we know you like to talk a lot. Is it that bad if you're like, yeah, they beat us?
And think about me who wants to do that for a living.
Yeah, right? It's crazy.
Oh my gosh, I'm just looking at the next game. Oh my.
What's the next game, Jack?
God.
Give it to us.
It's
The
Cincinnati.
Browns and the Bengals. Oh, Browns.
Shout out to all those people.
I'm going to make
in-
Trevor's laugh my ringtone.
Javier.
That's what I'm going to do.
Javier.
Shout out to all
Javier.
those people in Ohio who
What?
have.
What's up,
Javier,
man?
I'm
Tell
going to
me.
surprise you right now.
I want the Browns.
Give me the Browns.
No,
I want the
I'm
Browns.
taking the Browns
Browns.
too, man.
I'm taking the
Baker
Browns.
Mayfield. He woke up
I-
feeling dangerous.
Nick Chubb-a-dub-dub.
Nick Chubb, 92-yard touchdown.
37 fantasy points or whatever last
But
week.
dude-
Thank you, sir.
Baker.
I can say this for once.
Hmm.
At least the Browns are not losing this season.
Yeah, they're not like 0-18 bad.
Yeah.
We knew that before the season came. Like, it would be impossible for them to be worse just based on their roster makeup.
Because for
And
me,
you know what?
for me,
He's
I
shown
just
some signs,
I,
and I think
I-
he's an alpha too. I think he's competitive in the good way. Like,
I
he's like,
wanted him on
he's
the
like,
Jets.
let's go. And you haven't seen that from a Browns quarterback in a long time.
Yeah, you just seen all.
There's
You just
been a
seen
lot
all.
of them.
You just. There should be. You should pull up this. I should send you
jersey?
the picture of the jersey.
Yeah, with
Of all the
names on it.
Quarterbacks.
Hilarious.
Hilarious.
But,
Mhm.
yeah, dude, Give me the
Like- Browns.
I love Baker.
Like, even though I'm not a football fan, this is
Mayfield
the game
mania.
that it's just going to be so boring to watch.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to make Cleveland Brown fans go crazy because...
I actually don't think this game's going to be boring. I actually think this one could be fun.
Yeah.
Bengals not that boring of a team. They're
Oh.
fun.
Oh,
The
this
next
is
game, though.
lopsided. This is lopsided.
Javier,
your
I'm
squad.
feeling it. Give me the Jets.
No.
Give me
Really?
the Jets.
Really?
Is Darnold play?
Nope.
Okay, wow.
He's questionable.
He's questionable.
I got a feeling the Jets every time they play the Patriots, they play
Here's
up.
the problem.
They play up. I don't
Pats
know.
are coming off a bye.
Indeed.
They're
Indeed.
prepared,
So
man.
are the
Alright,
Jets. though.
is
So are the
Gronk
Jets.
is Gronk healthy?
It doesn't even matter if Gronk's
Is
healthy.
Gronk ever healthy?
No. And also, I think he might have officially just declined. I don't know if he's as great anymore. I think he's going to have some moments in the playoffs, but right now he's just kind of like stumbling through. You know?
Yeah, I'm trying to give you some hot takes right now, but I'll take the Jets.
You're wild.
It's my team.
I'm taking the
I don't
Pats.
like to root against my
I'm
team.
good. Yeah, I know. I feel you.
I'll take them.
I'll take the Pats and get a free win there. No offense to the Jets homies out there.
I don't think there's much to say about that one.
I know there really isn't much to say.
Really.
I just feel like the Pats, like they've struggled every now. That Tennessee loss was weird.
Yeah, that was bad.
And then Tennessee then getting blown out the next week was
Yeah.
even weirder.
It didn't even seem real. Almost.
It's like what?
For me,
We
like
wanted to believe in the Titans. Nope.
for
The
me,
Titans are here, y'all. We ain't going nowhere. Shout, remember the Titans. Anyway,
Yeah.
what were you gonna say?
For me, the Tennessee Titans game is interesting. It was interesting to watch the Titans all of a sudden just beat the Patriots.
You didn't do it right again, Trevor. Come on. You see this?
That's even worse.
You made it even worse. Come on, man. I want it. It's good. It was a great joke. Jack, show him over the breakout. It's done.
I just don't know how to do it.
It's not hard, man. But I'll show you later
Okay.
if I feel like it.
Okay.
The next game, Jack.
Giants Eagles.
This one's fun.
This one's gonna be fun. It just depends upon if the Eagles actually.
This is tough.
If the Eagles show up and if the Giants actually show up as well.
Eagles favored by 7. This is a really tough one.
I really want the
This is
Giants.
tough.
I really want the Giants, but the problem is Eli Manning needs to be like proper Eli Manning,
Yeah.
proper 2009 Eli Manning.
Trevor coming in hot. No, I'm kidding. it's
I'm going
lukewarm. You know?
Full slate of dogs, baby. Give me the G-men.
Give you the Giants.
Odell Beckham. He said they're running the table. I don't know about all that noise, but
I feel like
I'll
this
take
one.
him for now.
I feel like this one might be fun. Yeah. I feel like we're gonna have a Beckham fight at breakout.
Saquon's playing awesome.
Yeah.
He had a career game. Granted, his career is very small sample size, but he had a career game last week. Eli didn't look terrible. The defense looked awesome in the first half. Odell finally coming alive here in the middle of the season. I don't know, man. The Eagles haven't
Dude, I don't
looked
know
great.
either. I don't know, man.
I'm
I'm gonna take Philly. I don't feel good about it though.
Okay.
I'm gonna take Philly.
I'm
Let's run
taking
Philly,
the Giants. The Eagles lost their last 2. Giants won their last 2.
I don't know, man.
Give me the G-men.
This is a tough game.
I
That line's too high.
I would like to say this as a Giants fan.
What?
I don't know how I feel about the Giants game right now because it's not the fact that I don't want the Giants to win. It's the fact that I don't know if they can manage a win.
Yeah, I
Or
don't
like
know,
some-
man.
Because against the
I'm
Eagles,
intrigued though. I might watch this one. I just think it might be fun, but I think Philly at some point has to win, so I'll take Philly.
so
All right, what's the next game?
The 49ers and the Bucks, and I'm going to ruin my previous statement of going with an all-dog slate. I can't pick the Niners. I'm sorry. Jameis Winston is going to light that defense up. So give me the Bucks.
I'm really enjoying this whole like Ryan Fitzpatrick starts.
Okay.
Jameis
If-
Winston
if
starts.
Fitzpatrick
then
starts,
then Winston again.
if Fitzpatrick starts, but
Well, does it matter? Honestly, does it matter?
I don't know. Winston
think
looked
it's
good
just-
against the Giants in the second half.
I think if
So,
Winston throws 3 picks, then Fitzpatrick comes in and all of a sudden is amazing.
yeah, we
And
were
then they'll
talking about
they'll
this
lose
on
by
the Buzz
3.
this morning.
Yeah, we were, and it's just I don't know, man. I don't know what
it's
to say.
weird because I actually understand this because Ryan Fitzpatrick actually suddenly understands how to throw football.
Mm.
But then you have moments where he just sends interceptions.
Ryan Fitzpatrick.
Ryan,
More like Ryan Fitzmagic. How dare you? Don't slander that.
Nah,
man.
he's the man.
he's the man.
I loved him
He's
in
the
New
man.
York. Shout out Ryan Fitzpatrick.
He's fun. You can't hate
What a
him.
guy.
You can't hate
No,
him.
What a
no,
He's fun.
I love Ryan Fitzpatrick. I think he's
He
really
just
fun.
enjoys playing the game.
He really does.
You gotta love it.
He does, and I love when he runs for the first down
Yeah.
and gets
Yeah.
squashed by 2 defenders.
So what's your
and he's
pick?
fine.
What's your pick?
For this one,
Yeah.
I'm gonna go Tampa.
Okay,
Tampa.
good.
I'm gonna go Tampa. I just think that at some point that I'm gonna go Tampa. I don't feel
Ooh.
great about it, but I think they should win this.
This is a good one.
Go for
This
it.
is
What's
a
the next
good
one?
Panthers, Seahawks.
Panthers.
I'm going with the Panthers as well.
Killer Cam, Killer Cam. Although he hasn't been Killer Cam lately.
Yeah,
but
you know what? Give me the Panthers.
Seattle, not the dumpster fire people expected.
No, they're playing really well.
They're
And I
okay.
love Russell Wilson, but
Their line isn't atrocious. It's not great, but it's not atrocious. And then they've got what's it called? Their defense not atrocious, not great, but not atrocious, like I said.
I don't know,
It's
I
not.
like the
It's not
Panthers.
like it's not as bad as they thought it would be because the Legion is boom. The Legion
Yeah.
of Boom was just dismembered.
Exactly that. Sorry guys, I'm like fumbling around trying to get my food basically. So you guys see what my
Oh
priorities are.
boy! Oh boy!
I'm
This one's
excited,
gonna
man.
be interesting.
What's the next one?
the Ravens and the Oakland Raiders.
Oh my gosh, man.
Do I
Tank,
even have to say
Tank,
it?
toilet bowl.
Well, here's the thing. At least we know Oakland won last week, so we know they got their weird win out of the way. So I'm taking the Ravens.
There should never be a time when the Ravens are giving 11 points.
Really?
Yeah.
They're
so
giving that's too high.
That's a good line.
That's a weird
The,
line, man.
the Ravens.
Shout out
So
legal
Ravens.
betting in New Jersey.
Ravens.
What's up?
So you're going with the Ravens?
Yeah, I'm going with the Ravens. We're both
What about
going
you?
Ravens.
Ravens.
We're both going.
Yeah, I'm
Baltimore.
going Ravens. I can't.
Yeah,
Lamar
I-
or Flacco.
I would be a
either one.
crazy man to pick the Raiders.
Mm.
Pick the Raiders.
Please.
I think
trade Derek
I
Carr.
think my teacher's assistant would go with the Raiders.
I feel
Mm.
bad for Derek Carr.
I do too.
Get him out of there. Poor
I do
guy.
too. Actually, I don't because I hate Derek Carr.
Oh,
I have my reasons too. I hate Derek Carr.
The next
This is
game
going to be an
himself.
easy one for you. An easy one for me as
Mhm.
well. Chargers taking on the Cardinals.
oh, the retirement home.
Ugh.
The Arizona Cardinals.
The Cardinals are
Aren't
not
they?
good.
Isn't that such a funny thing to say? Like the retirement home.
It's actually not
Arizona-
funny to say. Don't ever say it again.
You only get the hottest takes. You only get the hottest takes in the digital dash.
You only get
the
the hottest takes.
Cardinals, not good.
I like Rosen though, dude. I really like
He's
Josh.
got potential, but
I'm
I
believing.
mean,
I
that's
believe
like,
in the chosen Rosen.
It's like putting
It-
Kevin Durant on an 8th grade travel basketball team and then putting him in the NBA. It's just not going to work. It's just not going to happen. Not this year, at least. They have 2 wins in their last 5 games. They're 1-4. The one win came against
just-
the Niners, who we talked about the Niners already.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
yeah,
So
yeah,
LA.
give me the Chargers. They should have beat the Broncos yesterday.
Yeah, they should
They
have.
won their last 4 before that.
Rivers inexplicably deciding to throw it to nobody with under just past the 2-minute warning instead of letting the clock run off. It was a classic Chargers loss, and we hadn't
Yeah.
had one in a while.
That's a great point.
It was how the Chargers.
They
lose.
would have went to 8-2 on the year if they won that one. That would have been best for its tie for second. Well, actually, it'd be like tie for 4th in the
Mhm.
league.
Mm,
But yeah, good.
whatever, man.
Give me the Chargers. Easy one there.
Yeah. Hopefully they don't blow it.
Oh boy.
If they lose
Now-
that one, then I'm
This
not
one's
gonna, you'll
interesting
never
as
see
well.
me again if they lose that one.
We were talking about the Broncos, so now the Broncos and the Steelers.
Mhm.
This one's in Denver.
As we just passed the top of the hour here at 90.3 WMSC Upper Montclair. I couldn't say it before because I was eating, but shout out. You're listening to us talk about NFL picks and say the game one more time.
The Steelers and the Broncos in Denver.
Steelers.
I'm going Steelers too. They won 5 in a row,
Mhm.
surprisingly. I
Man.
didn't. I would not even.
Jaguars really
notice
gave
that.
them that game yesterday.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
choked. They choked.
Yeah, you're right.
He choked.
Every time they have the lead, they never want to try anything on offense because they have Bortles.
Yeah,
They never want to
they
take
had
a
a
risk.
16-0 lead.
They never want to take a risk. That's because Blake Bortles not good.
Only the hottest takes.
Blake Bortles.
Not good.
Oh, that's true. That's
yeah,
so true.
I can't see a world where I trust Case Keenum.
Mhm.
Sorry.
feel
Sorry.
Or like, yeah.
I feel you.
I gotta go Steelers in that one.
Yeah.
All right. Next game.
Colts and Dolphins in Indianapolis.
Oh, really?
Mm.
Oh, that's not it.
Give me the Colts.
The Colts. Okay.
Dolphins struggling. The Colts playing really well.
Isn't Brock Osweiler still their quarterback?
Yes.
my God.
Yeah.
Give me
because,
the Colts.
That's all that needs to be said.
Colin Kaepernick's being blackballed. It's so
wow,
obvious.
Colts giving 9.5 in that one.
For me, my favorite joke.
That's actually a little bit too high.
My favorite joke that my YouTuber makes is like he calls the Colts the glue factory.
Why is that?
Because everything just stays there and nothing.
I like it. It's true though.
Nothing.
Dude, I like
nothing
Andrew
changed.
Luck. He's playing really well.
Yeah,
He had a
everyone
great
loves Andrew
game
Luck.
on Sunday.
He did. He's good. The Colts, not a bad team.
No.
I think actually they could be a little bit better than they are right now. I think they've had some unfortunate luck.
because-
Games just not swing their way. I think
Because
they're okay.
for me, like I think they built a lot of defense for Andrew Luck,
Mm-hmm.
which was really good.
Yeah, at least better. It's
Yeah.
definitely better than what it used to be.
Yeah, it's not like Andrew Luck needs to be like destroyed.
And then the last one, a good one, Sunday night.
Oh,
Packers and the Vikings.
Mm.
And this one's in Minnesota. It's a tough one.
I would go with the Packers, but Aaron Rodgers is just carrying the whole team, right?
You know,
Isn't that right? Like Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
feel like he's
Aaron
carried-
Rodgers is the whole team.
Yeah, I feel
But
like he's. The whole
He's
team.
also Aaron Rodgers at the
Yeah.
same time. So
I just think Minnesota has not been having the best year so far.
This is annoying because like I want to pick the Packers, but then I realize the Vikings shouldn't be this mediocre. They just
Yeah.
have too good of a team. I'm picking Green Bay, man. I'm
Green
picking
Bay?
Green Bay. Oh, I don't. This makes me annoyed. I didn't realize that the games were like contentious, but not because they're great games this week. It's just they're
No.
just annoying.
Yeah, I know. It's just so weird, right?
I'll take Green Bay very reluctantly.
Green Bay.
I
No.
gotta go Minnesota.
You're right.
If
I'm
not-
going Minnesota.
if not-
Actually, no, I'll go Green Bay.
If not only to foil you, I'm gonna go Minnesota.
It's a good strategy. It's a good strategy. Is that it?
And then the Monday night game, which
Mhm.
is Tennessee at Houston.
Thanks, NFL.
I'm taking the Texans.
I'm gonna take Tennessee
You're gonna
just
take
because
the-
I think they just might be. They've won like 8 in a row. I think at some point they just. It'll
7
be
in a
close.
row.
and
They
it's 7
started
in a row.
0-3, won 7 in a row. If you don't know me,
I think it's gonna be one of those weird games where they just like pitch like running back screens to Deion Lewis all night and somehow score.
if you don't know me, I bought my ticket to the Deshaun Watson hype train very early in the year, and I never got
You're
rid of
going
it,
with the Titans.
even after the 0-3 start. So I'm gonna keep on chugging.
Keep on chugging.
Give
So
me the
that's it.
Texans, baby.
All
8
right,
and
I'll
3.
take Titans. And that's it. Those are our NFL Week 12 picks, including our Thanksgiving picks. And next week we'll probably bring them up because you two will be back on the show, and we'll see how we did because Trevor wrote them down. But now we got Mr. Adam Grisani in the house
What's going on, guys?
to do your top of the hour newscast.
Thank you, guys. You are listening to 90.3 WMSC.
And what's up, guys? We're back here on the Digital Dash, 90.3 WMSC Upper Montclair. I am joined by Mr. Jack Barteck. He's still here.
Hey there.
He's still here. Trevor had to leave. Adam just gave our newscast before. And Frankie thankfully left from a while ago. Thank gosh. And calling in from an undisclosed location, a returning guest, Mr. John Ostrowsky.
How we doing?
How are we
My
doing,
fourth
sir?
time being on the show. I'm excited.
I know, man. You've been on how many times?
The fourth.
Fourth?
Four
Yeah,
times.
I think my notes. Yeah, I think my notes say the
I
same.
think I'm
thing.
now in the lead for
Yeah.
our hometown friends.
For
crew, but-
hometown, yeah. Yeah, you just beat out
Certainly.
Cav, which I know must feel really good.
Oh my God.
Your arch enemy.
I'm gonna text him right now. I'm gonna
You
call
should.
him actually and hung up on you.
But yeah, guys, John's been on a bunch of times, and this time I invited him on to talk about a lot of different things, actually. Probably too many things, if we're being perfectly honest. But we're going to go right through it. First, we just wanted to talk about some music stuff, believe it or not. And I don't talk about music a lot on this show. And that's about Vince Staples and Kendrick Lamar. And Vince Staples, it is about his new album, FM, which was released not too long ago. And I'm a big fan of Vince Staples. He's very crude. He's very funny, though. Shout out to him on Twitter. If you guys aren't following him, I really recommend him as a follow. But he released this album called FM, and it's got artwork kind of inspired by Green Day's Dookie. It's got a radio feel to it, if people are familiar with Big Boy TV, his interviews. He samples a lot of those things, and it's got this radio kind of like aesthetic to it in the background. And I listened to it finally. And John, let me tell you, it's the only thing I've been listening to for, I'd say, the past like week.
It's phenomenal.
It
And
really
it's
is.
22 minutes.
And it's
It's actually
22
incredible.
minutes. And it's rare, I feel like, that we get a hip-hop album, especially with some of the releases this year. I don't know if Migos came out this year, the 70-minute album that they had. And, you had Drake, which another one that was overly long. And here comes Vince Staples with this project, kind of somewhat sort of out of nowhere. And it's really short, and there's skits thrown in there as part of it. And every song, it just works. I listen to it on repeat. The first couple songs, Feels Like Summer and Outside, are just incredible. It goes hard. It just hits all the right beats,
It's great. Yeah, I think that's a really good point to compare it to like some of the other rap that's being put out now. Like Drake's albums are always like at least an hour.
Mm-hmm.
I love me some Lil Wayne. He's actually probably my favorite rapper of all time. His new album was good, but it's 17 songs. It's way too much. This was, I think, literally 10 songs, but 22 minutes, like you said, with skits, which are actually, I think, a really good throwback to like old West Coast albums like Doggy Style and some others by Dr. Dre that like to put little skits in that do feel like they're on the radio.
Mm-hmm.
And it's awesome.
I loved it a lot, man. Mero, I've listened to Feels Like Summer. I know I tweeted about this. I've listened to Feels Like Summer and Outside so many times. I'm probably going to play it after this, for being honest. After the show.
And
That's probably what I'm going to do.
If I remember correctly, those are the first 2 songs on the album, like back-to-back, amazing songs.
Yeah.
And then, like, the skits, like the skit with Tyga, that's actually, like, a really good song, and it's, like, 25 seconds. I wish there was more, but, like, it fits perfectly with the radio vibe and the rest of the album.
It's got a radio vibe. I love that. Big Boy comes on, he's like, hey, everybody in the neighborhood, what's up, everybody? And you know what? It just feels like summer, man. I love that. It's just so fun. And they're like,
funny.
Big Boy, it's funny, and it gets you in a good mood. It doesn't even feel like a skit, honestly. It makes you feel like you're in radio for a little bit, but in a fun, just, kind of going for it type of radio thing. And I like that, what's it called? There's the one song, what is it, Tweakin'? I like Tweakin' a lot, too. I really do.
Tweakin's good, and like the skit right before it is really funny when they do.
Yeah.
It's like a radio site, like 7 seconds of to guess something.
Yeah, I love that. But to bring it back to Tyga, I got nervous when that popped up. I was like, ooh. Like, I was like a little nervous, like, oh,
I did
no.
too. I was like, is he gonna flame Tyga right now?
Yeah, is he gonna flame him?
Tyga?
I got nervous because it was Tyga, and also, is he gonna flame him? Like, well, we have to, because everyone flames that guy. Bro, the video, of course, the one of him. I think Noah sent this to us. Noah Gersman. He's been on Digital Jash before. He sent us the video of him being, like, him rapping. You know what I'm talking about? It's like he's trash. It's like, hey, man, like, it's like that
Of
video on
Tyga?
Twitter. Yeah. It's the one with him holding the chain or whatever. Like when he's much younger.
Yeah.
It's like the worst thing you'll ever see. It was on like MTV or something like that. Oh my gosh,
It will actually
bro.
melt your eyes, but it's actually hilarious.
But yeah, like I love the album. I think it's just, I think it shows, guess what? Albums don't have to be 45 minutes long to still be great and memorable. I remember the last example of this, Kendrick Lamar from a few years ago when he released Untitled Unmastered. That album, not that long either, only like around like maybe 10 or so tracks, maybe a little bit less. And it just shows you don't have to have them too long. You know what I mean? And I like that. I like it that I don't have to feel like it's a project, that it's a chore to listen to some of these things. And Drake, I said it, like, I didn't like Scorpion. I thought there were a couple cool songs on there, but for the most part, I'm like, all right, he's doing Drake things again. Can you maybe take 7 tracks off of this? I would have liked it so much more.
Exactly.
But
there's like 20 songs. It's way too much.
It's way too much. And he got slayed by Pusha T.
King
but we don't have
Push.
to get into that too much. But yeah, man.
King Push.
But yeah, FM, I really recommend it. I recommend everything about Vince Staples. He's super funny. But he's very crude. He's got that gangster rap in there. He's very dark, but not in a like...
He is.
He's dark
The
in an
meaning
interesting
behind
way,
the
though.
album is actually pretty dark.
Yeah. I know I've been looking up more into that, and it is, for sure. But it's just, like, outside and fun, especially. Like, like he's got some really dark themes that he gets into. Not as much as some of his other works. Like his first album that came out a while ago. Like, not Prima Donna. What was the one before it? Let me think. It was the one with the porch. Hell Can Wait. That's what it was. That one was another one. It's just really dark music that he comes through with, and I think that one of the things with him is he doesn't do dark in like a way where he like
he does it passively. I don't know how to explain it. Like he's
and
not.
he can mask it. Like, I mean,
Yeah, he can
this
mask
album
it.
really does feel like summer. It's so happy and upbeat, but then you like
Yeah.
go on Genius and look at the lyrics. It's
Right.
the meaning behind it is not happy at all.
It's like with Foster the People's like Pumped Up Kicks or something like that. When you look up the
Exactly.
lyrics and you're like, whoa, oh my gosh, what is this song about? It's a lot like that, but I think Vince handles it in a mature way too, and not in a not in like a basic way, if that makes sense. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Especially when you look at the rest of hip hop. But yeah, that's my thoughts on Vince Staples' FM for sure. We're gonna take a little bit of a break though, because next I want to talk about something very, very important to both of us actually, and that is whether Kendrick Lamar is the GOAT of hip hop. Is he the greatest of all time? What do you think, John?
You know my answer.
I
I'm
do
gonna wait
know
for
your
the
answer.
audience to know my answer, but
I do know your answer.
we'll get into detail.
For sure, guys. So stay tuned. You're listening to Digital Dash here on 90.3 WMSC Upper Montclair. We'll be right back. And we're back, everybody, here on 90.3 WMSC Upper Montclair. I'm being joined by Mr. John Ostrowsky.
How we doing?
Doing well. Calling in from an undisclosed location via Skype. I really like saying that. It's just fun. So yeah, we teased it before. We want to talk about Kendrick Lamar for a little bit, but it's an important discussion. And honestly, Jack Barteck is here too. If he's still paying attention, you still with me there, bud?
I'm here.
All right, good. So because I'm wondering if perhaps you might have some thoughts. So here's the thing: Kendrick Lamar, big deal. Might have heard of him, right?
Indeed.
Big artist. The Grammys don't like him, of course, because he is that good. So here's the thing. John said, my friend John, we've known each other for a long time, since like sophomore year-ish of high school. Very good friend. And he said a long time ago that he thinks that Kendrick Lamar might be the best of all time. Or he might be leading up to that this might be the best rapper we've ever seen. And
That he's
years
the
later,
prodigal son.
that he is the prodigal son. That's exactly right. And years later, looking back, I have to think about it. Is Kendrick Lamar the best rapper of all time? And you know what, John? I have to concede. I think Kendrick might be the best ever. I really do. I don't think this
He
is
is,
recency
man.
bias. You know?
If we talk about resumes
Mm-hmm.
for like these types of discussions, look at that dude's resume.
Mm-hmm.
Most recently, he did the album for the biggest superhero movie of all time,
Right.
which was, I would say, probably 9 out of 10.
Right.
And then his 4 albums leading up to that before were probably 8.5 to 9 out of 10 each.
Mhm.
And that's with Damn, which is maybe the best rap album of the last 5 or so years.
Mhm.
So you put that all together, I don't know, I think he's it.
I just think that, and here's the thing, there's such like, you just look at his page, you look at critically, none of his albums are less than great. You know what I mean? That's
Exactly.
the basic consensus. Obviously, some people will disagree. Those people will be wrong. But most of his albums, nobody goes, it was fine. Everybody goes, yeah, it was great. You know what I mean? And then others are, wow, that might be the best album I've ever heard in my life. You know what I mean? Me personally, I think To Pimp a Butterfly is his best album. I think it's his most complete.
Right.
I think it tells a really like succinct, like altogether story. I think Damn does too, but I think it does it in this like chaotic, weird way, in a good way, where it's like all over the place, and it's kind of fitting for his emotions to be that way, because that album, of course, I think a lot of people when that album came out, you know, after the election of Donald Trump, were really expecting like Kendrick, like what is he gonna say about this? And he does say some things, but it's not, I don't think in these direct ways that people were expecting. He didn't just go on like Nick Cannon's whatever wildin' out type of thing, you know what I mean? And
Right.
just started just directly insulting the president. He instead it was like all over the place, you know what I mean? Like probably to capture his emotions, which I thought was really effective. Some didn't like it as much, but you know, I love the album personally. I know we listened to it like 150 times on our way down to
At
wherever we
least.
were. Yeah. And you just look at his rap sheet, right? Like I said, nothing less than great. You know, he comes out with Section 80, which I think has almost become underrated at this point as an album. It's my
It has, because he's so good. It's
Yeah,
like
he's
just
that
so
good, yeah.
overshadowed by his other works.
Absolutely. And I think, I mean, my favorite song he's done, this is a take, is Ronald Reagan era. I love that song. I love
Ooh.
the beginning of it.
I like that take.
I love it, dude. I listen to that song all the time. I just love it. We're far from good, not good from far. I just love that song so much. And then he comes out. How do you do that? All right, this is Upcomer, you know, the whole their whole TDE, Top Dog, their whole label and all that. Then he has Good Kid, Mad City, which is when he went like more mainstream, more people, you know, obviously I can't even say the name of some of the songs on this, but you know, the Don't Kill My Vibe song, of course, being like this huge song. And I didn't even like Kendrick yet at this point. I was like, it's fine. I didn't get it. I feel like Kendrick's can be a little, you know, you don't, it's an acquired taste after a little bit. I think people get it most of the time after a while. You know, like Backstreet Freestyle, Mad City, of course, which is the ultimate anthem song that you just play at a party. You know what I mean? Like people just go nuts. They're like, God, it's just like so great. You know what I mean? Everyone loses it at the drop.
Like I remember
everything
the
on
first
here.
one that I was like, when I heard Swimming Pools, I was like, whoa,
I know.
who is this?
Yeah, it was like, what is that? You've never heard a sound like that. That's what
Exactly.
Swimming Pools and Don't Kill My Vibe, 2 songs that really are just like, what is this? I don't even know if I like this yet, but it's definitely different and unique. You know what I mean? And especially with hip hop, you know, sometimes it can become a little diluted, and there's a lot of same sounding stuff these days with some artists out there. And this guy comes along and just delivers this incredible, you know, living in the projects type of story, and there's a lot of depth there too. I think that was the key. You know what I mean? There's a lot of depth to this album that people talk about. And then continuing on, how can it be better? In my opinion, better. But honestly, at this point, it's like Kanye level of like which Kanye albums are better almost. And then he comes out with To Pimp a Butterfly, which I'm sure wasn't based off of To Kill a Mockingbird whatsoever. That's not where the name came from. You know what I mean? And that album, you want to talk about a concept album, that's what that one is. And it really goes all in on his jazz aesthetic, which might be why I like it a lot. I'm a really big fan of jazz. You know, songs like Wesley's Theory, which is so good. King Kunta. I know you like These Walls. I know you're a big fan of These
favorite
Walls.
on the album.
It's really good. How Much a Dollar Costs. President Obama's favorite song was How Much a Dollar Costs from when the year that this came out in 2015. You know what I mean? I love that album. The album cover was crazy too. I remember when just the album cover dropped.
Yeah.
I was like, oh
That's
man.
certainly his best album cover in my opinion.
When he dropped that, I was like, oh dear. And I was, like I said, at this time, I was not yet a Kendrick Lamar fan. I wasn't. I was like, I think this guy's fine. I didn't get it yet. And I was like, whoa, what is this? And then I bought it and didn't like it. And then after, like, I remember it was like 2 or 3 weeks. I was like, oh my gosh. I probably texted you. And I was just like, oh my God, John.
What have I been thinking these past 2 weeks?
Yeah, what have I been thinking? And then just to go through the next thing. Then Untitled Unmastered, which in a way is not his best project, but one of his more impressive things, because this is just demo tapes that this guy releases. And honestly, that year, one of the best hip-hop records that came out this year. It's a green, sludgy, like you're in a swamp-looking cover. It's really messy in a way, like clearly there are some unproduced things. They're demo tapes for the most part.
Yeah, the songs are raw, uncut. Like
it's just 8 tracks. I love, like we were talking about Brevity before with Vince Staples. Like this is that. And I loved it. And I was like, this is so good. I listened to it like all the time. This was like my freshman year when it came out. But yeah, then you have that come out. And then of course that you have Damn. And then they have the collector's edition that comes out too, of course, which is the album played backwards. Do you remember when Blood plays and it's like, you've lost your life? Bro, what did that, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, like
at
when
the
the
beginning.
gunshot
Yeah, the
comes
gun.
in.
I like jumped out of my bed when that happened.
Me too.
I got so shook, dude. I was like, oh my gosh, what?
I'll never forget, me and my roommate had like both just gotten up from a nap and we were just like tired and we're like, oh wait, Kendrick's album's out. We play that and we jump out of our seats at the first song. And we were like, okay, that's the way to set the tone for this
it's
album.
Like, I think it's like, it reminds me of Eminem. I think one of his projects, he had something where he gets shot at, I think. That's what it reminded me of when I heard it. I forgot which album it was, but it was one of them, I promise. And then the last thing that he did was like you said, the Black Panther soundtrack inspired by not just one of the best comic book, superhero films ever made, but just one of the biggest movies ever made. And it will be nominated for Best Picture at the Oscars this year, as we all know. And I'm excited for that. It's going to happen. I have no doubt about it. The outrage is going to be unbelievable if they don't.
That's true.
And it's deserving, too, in my opinion.
Yeah, it needs to be. If there's 10 movies getting nominated.
And Black Panther, the song Black Panther, has one of my favorite instrumentals of the year. That piano thing is just so good. I still listen to it. You got All the Stars. It's not one of his best projects, and it's very produced. It's probably his most produced thing. A lot of features on there. Kind of un-Kendrick-like, where he just has so many guest stars on it. But still, it was good, and it's one of the better soundtrack albums, I think, in a long time. You know what I mean? That we've seen, especially for a blockbuster like this.
Certainly. And speaking of features, there's a couple of great features by the guy we were just talking about, Vince Staples, on that very album,
Exactly.
on Ops, I believe, and maybe another one.
Oh man, I love Ops.
Yeah,
It
that's
was Ops. Yeah,
one of my favorites.
man, that album's good. And then the crowning jewel, or not the crowning jewel, this is like the cherry on top. Not only has this guy had incredible albums, and I'm not going to get into Grammys because they're meaningless. They don't mean anything. He should have won at least 2 Best Album of the Years, honestly, at this point. But he also has a Pulitzer.
Yeah.
This man won a Pulitzer, which every year for music always goes to like classical music for the most part, if I'm not mistaken. Like pretty much every year.
That's what when I saw that he won that, that's what I looked into past winners, and that's what I saw.
And it was like, are you kidding me? He won a Pulitzer. Now, I think he actually should have won his Pulitzer for To Pimp a Butterfly, but he won it for Damn, which is fine. They're both great. I think it just comes down to taste, actually, with those 2 records. I think it just depends. I think Damn has a little bit of something for everybody, so that's why I think it's really good about it.
Right.
But yeah, this guy won a Pulitzer. Like, how many rappers do you know that won a Pulitzer too? On top of this, with an album
I think there are 0 aside from him.
With an album that blatantly just makes fun of Fox News at one point. It's just
Yes, literally samples.
yeah,
Fox
literally
News.
samples Fox News, which is incredible. Oh man, DNA, man. Whoo. Oh, man. Like he starts out with that really somber, ominous, dark track, and then just goes into it.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I really like Jack. Do you have any takes on this?
Well, I agree with a lot of what you're saying. Kendrick Lamar is obviously,
One of the-
if he's not the great, he's definitely in the conversation. Obviously you got to include guys like Tupac and
Right.
B.I.G. The classics. And if it depends on like if you're looking for like mainstream music or if you're looking to actually enjoy a project.
It depends,
I feel
yeah.
like if you're looking for like a whole complete project where you like
Dive in.
Yeah,
Get
yeah,
more
yeah,
invested.
yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Right.
then Kendrick is like the guy.
Yeah. And I think that what's good about him is he has things like To Pimp a Butterfly, which is not a mainstream type of track. Obviously, people know like All Right. They know that
Yeah.
song for the most part. But the rest of the album, if you listen to, is really like a story. He has like a track on there where he interviews Tupac. Yeah, we didn't even talk about it. Speaking of Tupac, do you remember your reaction when you heard that?
I had to play it back like a couple times. I was like,
I did too. I
is
didn't
this
think it was
is this
him.
actually supposed to be on the album?
The
But
song
it's really
Mortal
cool.
Man,
I like it.
It's 12 minutes, and it sounds so real, and it's disturbingly relevant. Some of the things that Tupac
It
says in
is.
that song, it still makes sense. You know what I mean? It's almost like Do the Right Thing, where that song, that movie, unfortunately, still carries relevance in a lot of ways.
Right.
Great movie. And that's what Mortal Man is, the song that he's on. And he basically sampled like other interviews that he had before and just put it perfectly together, where it sounded like a real conversation. And by the end of it, I was like, that did just happen, right? I was like, no. No. I remember Anthony Fantano did his review and he was laughing. He was like, and then who shows up? Tupac. Like, it's just crazy. But yeah, I just think that you look at his whole body of work, and, there's other guys currently that people talk about. You talk about Drake. People probably talk about now Travis Scott, just in terms of a more mainstream,
J.
like
Cole.
J. Cole, who I think really fell off a lot and just kind of hasn't been able to get back on his feet ever since
After
Forest Hills
Hills Drive.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say.
He has a couple songs in there, but for the most part, I think J. Cole leaned too much into being deep or trying to like have
he tried
concepts.
to not be mainstream.
Yeah,
too
he
hard.
like tried a little bit too hard.
Forest Hills Drive was his peak.
Yeah, he had like a little bit of nice little mixture there. You know what I mean? That worked, and then it's
If
like
he
King
could've
of
kept that
Drugs and all that.
balance.
Yeah, I just feel like he leaned too much, and Kendrick found a way of having projects that leaned a certain way, but also having songs like All Right and King Kunta to kind of balance it out. You know what I mean? Stuff like that, and then deliver Damn, which just has no matter what kind of, if you like hip hop, there's a song on there, whether it be something like Pride or DNA or
Loyalty.
Loyalty.
Totally. I love that. If you want to
love
see
that
Rihanna rapping, listen to
Yeah.
Damn. Like, it's like,
If you want to
Yes.
see U2 on a hip hop record,
yeah.
that's another underrated thing. He had U2 on there, and it was good. It was like,
Yeah.
what? I was like
That could've
nervous.
been
I was like, oof,
disastrous.
that could have been disastrous. No shade on U2, but it just feels like it doesn't mix,
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I just think that Kendrick, I feel like people need to start, we always talk about Michael Jordan versus LeBron, right? And that's like kind of the only GOAT discussion that happens right now in terms of just anything in culture. You know what I mean? Whether it be sports or movies, nobody's really
Right.
talking about best director. I think that we should be talking about like, yo, Kendrick Lamar might be like probably the best rapper ever and just one of the best artists we have right now, honestly, just in general.
Who's like
And
your top 5 artists right now?
right now, just in any genre?
Yeah.
Oh man, see, I'm not even a music like aficionado. I think Adele's got to be in there for me. I think Kendrick's in there. I think I got to put Beyonce in there, honestly. And then this is where I struggle because I have no idea. Because there are some genres of music that I just don't know anything about. Like, I respect country, you know what I mean? I used to hate on it. I think because I was told to hate on it, I think it became cool to hate on country. And I'm like, if I'm in the mood, it's not that bad if I'm in the mood.
I hear that.
You know, some alternative bands that I'm not familiar with everybody right now.
Rotations.
Yeah, rotations, yeah. And I'm just not fully sure who I'd put in, but I just think that like Adele and Beyonce.
Is that like your 5 that you
that'd be my
prefer?
3 and my 5. I don't know what my personal favorites. I have a lot of other personal. I mean, I love like Queen and Journey and Mac Miller, R.I.P. and like just guys like that. I love Green Day, who obviously not right now is one of the best, but yeah.
Yeah.
I think Kendrick, man. I just think we don't talk about this enough, and I think we have to crown him. We have to give him the digital dash glory. Kendrick Lamar, the greatest of all time, hip hop. You know what I mean? You just have
Stamp
to.
of approval. Yeah,
Oh yeah,
he needs it.
and To Pimp a Butterfly, by the way, broke or almost broke the record for Grammy nominations. I know we said the Grammys don't matter, but in terms of nominations, that's still impressive.
Right. For an album that wasn't as mainstream as his others.
Yeah, for sure. Grammy's meaningless, so I know people are gonna be like, oh yeah, well Drake, look how many Grammys he has. It's like, all right, cool, dude. He got like views nominated. He didn't even go to the Grammys. That's how like stupid that show is. It's like, oh, here we have this person. I could rant about the Grammys all day for sure. But yeah, that's our thoughts on Kendrick Lamar and the fact that he is the greatest of all time, guys. And when we get back, we're going to take a little bit of a break here. And when we get back, we're going to talk about some basketball stuff. Just a free-flowing kind of conversation about all the things in the basketball world. You know what I mean? You know what I mean, Jack?
Yeah, I do.
You know exactly what I mean. Because we need more normalcy. Don't you like that we've had like a more normal, kind of latter act of the show instead of possibly racial?
It was crazy
jokes?
before. It was.
I can't wait to replay it, dude. John, I gotta send you what happened. It was insane.
I wish I had a
Was
replay
there a
of your
problem?
reaction. Dude.
No, it was good. It was he like was joking, but it was like Frankie Perez, if he's still listening for some reason, just from the top rope. You know what I mean? Like he was just coming out. He had some Thanksgiving takes that were insane, bro. I'll talk to you about them later, off air for sure.
Sounds good.
All right, but yeah, guys, we're gonna take a little bit of a break, and when we get back, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna talk about some NBA stuff. So stay tuned, guys. You're listening to 90.3 WMSC Upper Montclair. And we're back, everybody, here on 90.3 WMSC Upper Montclair, talking about some things off the air that definitely cannot be talked about on the air. I'm being joined by Mr. Jack Barteck.
Hey up.
And calling in from an undisclosed location via Skype, of course, Mr. John Ostrowsky.
How we doing? Let's
Doing
get
great.
to it.
Doing great. So here we go. It's NBA time, ladies and gentlemen. Now, last time we talked about the NBA, John was also calling in, and Jack was also here. He was present. You guys are both Nets fans, actually.
Indeed.
We are. We both survived major heart attacks recently.
Barely.
With Karis LeVert.
Oh,
God.
man.
Jack, did you see that live at all?
I was in the Chick-fil-A parking lot when it happened, and I got a text from my friend saying, and I quote, "Bro, Karis LeVert just died. Are you kidding?" And I said, "Oh no." And then
man.
the Chick-fil-A drive-through is always a guaranteed like 5 to 10 minute wait, just because it's always packed.
I've still
So I'm
never been to
sitting
Chick-fil-A.
there. Whoa.
I know.
That's a story for next
I know.
week. We
I
can
know
talk
this.
about that.
We should do fast food rankings next week or something crazy.
I'm game.
Let's do it.
But yeah, I watched the replay and I was like, "That's it. He broke his leg. We'll
I still
never
haven't
see him
watched
again."
it. I still haven't watched that. I didn't watch Alex Smith either.
I don't
I avoided the
understand
injury
how it wasn't
Discussed
worse.
this week. Yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. And that's the thing about your squad. Your squad's fun, man. I watched them a little bit
We
the other day
are.
after I'm a Die Easy Clippers fan. Let me make it clear. I'm not like gonna pretend that I'm like this super diehard.
He's repping today.
Yeah,
He's got
I
the
have it. I
Clippers
have
shirt on.
I have the shirt that Cav gave me, John, from
Oh.
LA or whatever. But like Clippers, let me just flex a little bit. They're a fun team to watch. I only watch Nuggets and Clippers. Those are the only two teams I watch right now. And then the
Uber
Lakers
hipster.
and the Lakers every now and then. Nuggets been struggling a bit lately, but man, the Clippers, they just look like a team and they have assets. Low key, that Blake Griffin trade was a haul for them. Not quite, Brooklyn Nets or something like
Yeah,
that. You
yeah,
know what I
yeah.
mean? But they got
Please
Tobias,
don't
who
remind
is
us.
almost just as effective sometimes, and then they got Avery Bradley. Then they got those 2 first-rounders, which I was with John when they were drafting.
I wish I recorded your reactions to both.
All right, so Shea, I got talked into a little bit. It just took me some time.
No,
And
I
was
like him.
I like Shea. But then the fact that all week we'd heard, like, yo, they love Michael Porter Jr. And I was like, yo, he was supposed to be like a top 3 pick if he didn't get hurt, right?
He was
I'm
supposed
in.
to be the
Yeah, he was
the
supposed to be
guy.
like the guy,
Pass
right?
on him. I don't think he's gonna play the entire year.
Yeah, and then they didn't pick him, and they picked Jerome Robinson. And I was like, who in the...
And then Porter gets picked the next pick, which is the funniest part.
by the Denver
To the
Nuggets.
Nuggets,
Yeah,
yeah.
which is funny. So there you go, my hipster team. And what I loved about the pick was, I was telling John this, where I was like, I don't know a lot about college. I'm not going to pretend like I know everything about who's good and whatnot. But when I see they do the player comparison, and Jerome Robinson, it says like his peak is like, I don't know, Shane Battier. And then
There we go.
And then they go
13th pick.
yeah, and then Michael Porter, player comparison, Carmelo Anthony. It just makes me go, wait, what? Like as a
Something
casual
doesn't
fan,
add
I'm
up
like,
here.
wait a minute, why didn't we take that guy? Then we already got like, go take the risk. Why not? But
Yeah,
now we've got someone who's in the G League.
If
So
you're the Clippers, I mean, what do you
Yeah.
have to lose there?
what do you have to?
Real-
I would have taken
realistically,
it.
what do you have to lose? You're gonna stink anyway.
Now my
So-
my thought was that because they've been rumored is that they wanted him all week, and maybe it was that they knew something. Like that could have been like that. I was trying to convince myself because Jerry West and Steve Ballmer are like doing a pretty good job right
Yeah.
now, for sure. And I try to talk myself into the fact that it's like maybe they know like he's got some crazy like Greg Oden-esque type of injury going
Yeah.
on here, but I don't know, man. I was upset that they didn't take him with 1 or what's his face that went after him. I forgot the other pick that went. I'm gonna pull up the NBA draft right now, but just tons of stuff going on in the NBA. What are some other storylines you guys have been paying attention to recently?
Well, I mean, LeBron with 51 on the Heat's head was pretty
Oh, man.
exciting for me
Oh man,
as a LeBron mega fan. Did
sure,
you
man.
see how he got to 51? Like
Yeah,
how
the
the last
three-pointer at the
3-pointer he
end.
hit?
yeah, it was like what
That was the coolest thing I've ever seen.
it's like what Jamal Murray did, except that people were okay with it.
because he's LeBron.
It's almost
Yeah,
like
but-
I know. I'm just
It's
messing
a
around.
little different, but
yeah, it's
I
a
know
little
what
different.
I know what people are saying.
Did you hear
Kyrie
what he
needs to
said?
relax.
Did you hear why he said he shot it?
Wait, Jamal Murray or LeBron?
LeBron.
No, I didn't hear.
He said that Lance Stevenson dared him to shoot it,
Really?
and that's why he did it.
That's really funny.
And then
actually.
if you watch on the film, he makes the shot and walking back down the court, he points right at Lance Stevenson on the Lakers
That's
bench.
hilarious. Oh, Lance. Lance, by the way. I love Lance Stevenson, by the way. Great content guy. You know what I mean? Just log on to Twitter when the Lakers are playing. You're going to get a good video out of it. But, man, he should not be playing. It's just like one of those guys that should not be playing basketball right now. But, yeah, I think that what do you think are some of the storylines? I think that in general,
Biggest storyline's got to be the Warriors.
yeah, the Warriors, man.
Jimmy?
Yeah, and remember
Well-
the last time we were on, we were making fun of the Warriors.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was
Sure,
making
we were
fun with
talking
that
with
one
Mario,
person.
Yeah.
Yeah, on Mario's
and you
show.
did say Draymond Green, and literally
Yeah.
2 nights later, that all went down. And obviously,
I don't like
if
to
you don't
brag.
know about what happened with Draymond Green, they
Yeah.
were trailing a game. Were they trailing by 2, I believe? And Draymond Green got the rebound,
Against
literally
the Clippers.
ripped it right away from Kevin Durant. And then Kevin Durant was vehemently calling for it. Draymond Green decided to dribble down court, take it himself. He ended up stumbling and turning the ball over. They went to overtime and lost. There was an exchange between Draymond Green and Kevin Durant, and a lot of people are speculating that there was more that happened in the locker room
Mhm.
because that led to Draymond Green getting suspended for a game by the Warriors for conduct
Right.
detrimental to the team.
Right.
So, I mean,
I think that
it's just a bad situation. there.
now what the reports are is that the 2 things I've saw and apparently is that he called him, a female dog.
Yeah,
Can't say
yeah.
that on air. And then the other one was that he was bringing up his free agency and all this stuff. I think I'm not buying it. I'm not buying that that's the reason they suspend him for a game.
Let me
There's
say-
got to be more there.
Let me say
I'm not
2
buying it.
things here.
Yeah,
so,
what's up?
one, I agree with you. Not
Mhm.
buying it. Something more had to happen there. 2, Draymond Green, stay in your lane, brother. Come on, man. People like to have this conversation where I get it. Draymond Green, he's a 3-time
yeah,
All-Star.
He's great.
He's an NBA champion. I respect him. He's a good
Reluctantly,
player.
we have to say, yeah, he's a great player.
He's an above-average role player.
yeah,
It-
very
okay,
far above. Yeah.
But if you took him on some random team,
if you put him on the Atlanta Hawks, he would have never made an All-Star team. You would never hear about him. He would be Harrison Barnes.
Yeah.
And he's going to tell Kevin Durant that they don't need him after he went after Game 7 and called Kevin Durant and said that they needed him. He's going to say they don't need him?
Go off, Jack.
Come on, stay in your lane, man.
You know what my take is? I think that this is all setting up for the Kevin Durant redemption story. You know what's going to happen?
I think you're right.
I think what's going to happen is this. He's going to say, you know what? He's going to go on a revenge tour. It's not going to be about LeBron next. He's going to the Clippers, right? And then he's going to... And then, be serious for a second. I actually think he would really gain all of his respect back if he went to a team that has some the Clippers, for example. The Knicks. I don't think he could go that far with the Knicks, but go to a team that's kind of set up, for example. So I'm just using the Clippers because that's what rumor. And if he goes and beats the Warriors and has this FU kind of attitude about it,
Westbrook.
I actually think everyone would be like, "Yo,
Westbrook,
Durant's the guy now."
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We forgive everything.
That's what happened with LeBron.
Exactly.
They'd be like, "Wow, Durant is cool again."
Yeah, Durant is cool again. I actually I know it's with the Clippers, but I really do think that would make everyone love Kevin Durant again. Because you remember when we all did love Kevin Durant? Remember those times, simpler times?
He was that lovable guy on the Thunder.
So much better.
He was that lovable guy. Now Westbrook, everyone's like, I mean, we talked about it before, where it's he kind of won the MVP partially because we just wanted him to win after Durant left.
He had that chip on his shoulder.
Yeah, we just wanted to see him win, and it was fine. I'll allow it. But with the Draymond Green thing, I think that it's weird. And also, shout out to Steve Kerr with a flex. Do you guys remember? He was he talked about how you have to be careful in these situations, with his thing with Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
How he got punched in the face.
That was
And
great.
he's like, oh, and yeah, by the way, I beat MJ up, basically. I can't say it, but I beat MJ. I'm like, we didn't talk about that enough. He just was yeah, I beat up Michael Jordan. I beat him in a fight. All right.
And nobody said a word.
Nobody said a word. Nobody doubted it. Everyone was like, "Oh, Steve Kerr's the best." I think everyone loves Steve Kerr.
Yeah.
Most
I think it
person.
was in reference to this famous story that MJ punched him.
Yeah, exactly.
Had
Had
right?
a black eye afterwards. Yeah, for sure.
Kerr's the greatest man in the NBA. I've said that for a while.
I know.
He
I
and
love
LeBron.
Steve Kerr. He really is he's an awesome guy. Gotta root for that guy, especially when you look at his Wikipedia page and see his life. You're like,
Yeah,
wow.
it's shocking.
Yeah.
It's because he never brings it up. You know what I mean?
Crazy.
We're not gonna bring it up now. But yeah, some other things just with standings, Raptors.
Real
have
quick,
been
we got to
good.
talk about Jimmy Butler.
Oh, Jimmy Butler! I forgot. Thank you, John.
Finally, about time they traded him.
I thought it was going to be more fun to see the dysfunction. It wasn't, though.
No.
Karl-Anthony Towns just seems like a nice guy. Not fragile or soft. I don't like using those terms, but because you get them thrown at me all the time.
Yeah.
But it's just I don't think you're soft because someone who's yelling at you makes you feel bad. I just think that's a dumb narrative we have in society. But he's playing so much better, and he might work for the Sixers. And my thing is, I don't think he can play that intimidation thing. I think Embiid is he's he can play that too. You know what I mean? I think
see what
Embiid
you're
and Simmons are both alphas that can deal with that if there is a personality problem with Jimmy Butler, which I remember last time we were yeah, he might be a jerk. I don't know, man. Really
I tend
exciting
to agree
trade.
with that.
Mm-hmm.
I tend to agree with that. I think Simmons and Embiid will be fine in terms of their egos being untouched, but I am worried for what he's going to say to Markelle Fultz. Do you see what this dude is doing at the free throw
Oh
line?
my God, he's literally playing hot potato
All
with the
right,
ball.
Yeah,
on the
Jimmy
layup.
is not going to be okay with that.
All right,
for 82
How do you
games.
have the yips as an NBA player?
I don't. All right, here's the thing. What happened? No one's explained to me what happened to Markelle Fultz.
Well, I mean,
I looked up his college games. I watched 20 minutes of a game of him playing yesterday because I was
heard-
investigating, trying to figure out what happened.
I heard a report, and
Mhm.
this was a while back. I don't know how true it is, but I heard a rumor that he got into a bike accident, a motorcycle
Really?
accident, and didn't tell anybody.
Really?
And that is why. Do you remember when Markelle Fultz was off the map, and nobody heard?
Oh,
from
you
him,
mean when it was
and he just
oh,
wasn't talking to the team?
yeah, it was they didn't. It was surgery and then
Yeah,
the
yeah,
liquid
yeah, yeah,
drains,
yeah.
some
Yeah, yeah,
Deadpool
yeah.
procedure that they were
I
doing.
heard that
Yeah.
he got into a motorcycle accident.
Interesting, John. Have you heard this?
I've heard not a specific story like that, but I've heard some weird physical accident happened.
oh,
It would
man.
not shock me at all if it was some type of accident
Exactly,
like that.
because
Bro, I
he got
like this.
really bad out of nowhere.
He really did. He can't shoot threes anymore, and he shot threes in college.
Yeah, no.
You know what I mean? Like this wasn't
very well.
Yeah, very well. It's like this is, and I don't care what his competition level is. Like at some point when you're playing good teams,
Yeah,
I know they didn't
exactly.
win a lot, but still, like
You don't have that big of a discrepancy overnight.
yeah, you don't forget a skill.
Yeah.
It's not like he's struggling. It's like he just doesn't shoot anymore.
And it's not the same.
It's like what is this guy? Like I don't know what
Everything's
happened,
wrong.
bro. I'm all for the conspiracy theories and like what happened and whatnot.
Jimmy's gonna find out what happened and then leak it to the entire
Yeah.
Can I-
Oh my gosh.
NBA
yes.
fans.
Can I say one thing on this whole Jimmy Butler Timberwolves
Go
situation?
for it.
So I think that this is one thing that I said from the beginning. So Jimmy Butler has been dragged a lot for this whole situation, how it's gone down. But my thing is, everything that people are talking about Jimmy Butler, painting him in a bad light for, it's the same thing that people talk about Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant as
sure.
why they're the greatest ever, because that winning attitude. And don't get me wrong, I'm not comparing them as players
yeah.
because I know obviously
Jimmy Butler thinks
they're
he's
on a
like
higher level.
been to the championship 3 times.
But maybe, and I'm looking at this right now, maybe he wasn't exactly wrong about what's happening there in Minnesota. Look at this team.
yeah,
they have
they're
talent.
kind of a mess. Yeah.
And they're sitting at 7-10, second to last in the Western Conference. If the Suns weren't in the Western Conference, who are just not great right now, I mean, maybe he wasn't exactly wrong on that losing culture that they have going on there.
For sure, man. But yeah, unfortunately, we're out of time now. As we approach the top of the hour here on 90.3 WMSC Upper Montclair. But I'd love to talk I could talk basketball with you guys like all day, honestly. We should probably do that at some point. I don't know
Yeah,
what
definitely.
time, but I'd love to have you guys both on. There's just so many things to talk about.
Hopefully I'll
Basketball
have my own
culture is
show
great.
soon.
Yeah, hopefully you will, man. I wish you luck. But yeah, guys, ladies and gentlemen, that is it. That about does it for today's edition of the Digital Dash. Remember that you can always tune into the show every Monday from 4 to 7 p.m. here on 90.3 WMSC Upper Montclair or the iHeartRadio app. And as always, to close things out, and I lost the song, of course, because that's what happens to me. Let me find it really quickly. Boop-a-doo. There it is. And as always, to close things out, it's Journey with Separate Ways, Worlds Apart. Remember, everyone, never accept the world for what it appears to be. Dare to see it for what it could be. I'm Javier Reyes. That's Jack Barteck. That's John Ostrowsky on the Skype call. I hope you all have a terrific night, and I'll see you next time.